Oh, hello, hello. Hello, gamers. It is Saturday still, if I check my calendar correctly. I did not get trapped by the Mahjong tiles tonight. I did hit go live on a stream today, legally speaking. I couldn't yesterday because of various reasons, but we're here today. Because I couldn't stream this last night, we're going to do this tonight. And then we could probably do the Grinch tomorrow. Oh, Confused Hunter. Hello, hello. And let's get off this screen real quick. Hello, hello, game. Oh my god, the Grink is still here. I forgot he was still in this scene. Hello, Mr. Grink. You're a little too big there, Mr. Grink. We gotta shrink you down. We're shrinking down the Grink. Shrink him. There you go. Put him right there. There you go. Stopping by before I run for groceries. Good luck, gamer. Thanks for stopping by. Fuse, good luck with your grocery run. Try to survive. I believe in you. I think you can do it. I think you can buy all of the groceries. Can you buy me, like some butterscotch? Can you give me some more of that? Thanks. Thank you. I have been grinding Mahjong all day today. We are at 3,000 something. We went past the 3,000 mark. We're in the 3,000 exactly. Out of 3,600 that I need to go from 6th Dan up to 7th Dan. I'm almost there. Honestly, I was on such a good run today. I almost didn't stream today, but I said to myself, no, I gotta do this. I gotta do the reading. Because honestly, I do have the next, like, the last 2 weeks of the year, like, I don't have to deal with work or whatever. However, we are going to be having some guests over during the holidays. So I don't know how often I really do get to stream because of that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So for now, I want us to read through First Snow tonight. And then we will continue the Grink tomorrow. And if we probably won't finish the Grink tomorrow. If we don't, then we'll finish at some point in the week. And we'll also finish Christmas Carol. We gotta finish a Christmas Carol. Now, tomorrow, though, I will say, I have no clue when the stream is gonna happen, if it does happen tomorrow, because I do have a birthday event for a friend that I'm going to at some point during the day. It's like around 4 o'clock my time. And I potentially, when I come home, have other things I'm gonna be doing anyway. So if we do stream tomorrow, it's gonna be a late night stream, or potentially a very, very earlier stream than usual. One or the other. We'll see how it goes. How's it going, Macaroni King? Hope you are doing well. But yeah, today was mostly Mahjong grind, which I did well with. And then booking the room for the off-kai. Now I was dealing, so one, I was playing Mahjong, but two, I was also dealing with some other situation that was happening through like Discord DMs or whatever about a thing, and I had forgotten. I had known for like days now the off-kai hotel booking was starting at like 7 o'clock my time tonight, and then I was dealing with all that stuff while trying to play a Mahjong match and not lose. I didn't lose, the match was good, but I was trying to deal with all that while doing that, and then like I think 20 minutes after that started was when I started seeing pings from a couple friends saying that the hotel booking happens. So I went to go check. There were still rooms available, but they were like all the cheaper ones that are further away, which is a bit annoying. I did reserve one just in case, but I did also book for another place called the West Inn, which is much closer to the convention center there. However, it is like more expensive. So now it's just a question of whether or not I want to pay more to not be inconvenienced by having to Uber every now and then. So I have two potential things booked, and I'm just going to cancel one. But now it's just a question of which one. We'll see. Oh, I forgot I still needed to book ASIN, but at least I got my insurance dealt with yesterday. I don't remember if the hotel blocks are open for ASIN, or if they did. I do have to check on that. I'll probably just stay at the same place I stayed at before. Yeah, I don't think hotel blocks are currently open for ASIN. I don't know when that's going to happen, too. I know they opened up... You can buy badges for ASIN already. I can't, because I'm going to be registering as press again. So I have to wait. But... Oh, you know what? I also haven't looked into actually applying to Offkai as press yet. I don't think I can yet, either way. I bought a badge for... did I say something else? I meant Offkai. Yeah, Offkai. Offkai, I bought a badge for Offkai just in case, because I have no clue if any of these new cons I go to are going to accept me as press there. So we'll see what happens with Offkai. I'm also not sure... Maybe I would try to see... I don't know how they do interviews at Offkai, if that's even possible at places like that. I know for anime conventions it's like easier, but I don't know Offkai, how they do things with VTuber stuff. I'm still fairly new to the VTuber scene. I want to go to the con either way. It'd be nice if I could also go as press, so I could also like cover things at the event, which would be nice. And potentially get an interview or so. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, you can get badges for ASEN now. Hotel booking through their block pricing, I don't think is available just yet. But I think before, like, all the hotels that were, like, across the street from the ASEN Convention Center place there were all, like, pretty good. You can get one of those. That's great. I got one, but I didn't get one through the hotel block when I went. And it was still cheaper than the one that I just got for Offkai. Bro, San Jose prices for everything are insane. I thought prices for here in Boston were crazy. Bro, San Jose prices? I was like looking at the other places potentially outside of the hotel block pricing, and they were just like, well, if you want to stay at the Marriott now, it's gonna cost you like $500 a night. I'm like, are you serious? It went from like $100 and like $200 to like $500. Are you serious? And a friend of mine said, oh, you could try the Hyatt, which is also like pretty close. And I check, it's like $700. 700 plus for because the only rooms they have available there are like the bigger, fancier ones, not like the small little here's one queen room somewhere. I just refuse to spend more than 150-ish a night. And yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. My whole thing is just if I pay a little more to have a little more convenience, that'd be great. But if it's like, if it's not worth it, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. The one that I booked through the hotel block, which was pretty cheap, it is pretty far away. It's going to be like a 10-minute drive, which I don't mind taking an Uber. You know, my only concern is whether or not there's going to be a fuck ton of traffic as well, which would make that, in theory, 10-minute drive actually take so much longer. Because that would often happen in Chicago, too. Even though my hotel is not that far away, there is a fuck ton of traffic on that road in front of ASEN. There's a fuck ton of... Because it's just one giant road, and you would think it'd all be going fast. No, it's not, and I don't know why. What is going on in Chicago? What is happening over there? What is happening? It's like one big fucking road that goes straight forward. Why does it take them so long to move? What's going on there? Because I had that problem whenever I needed to get a ride somewhere. Okay, but anytime I needed to cross that fucking street to get into the convention center, I would have to wait for years for the cars to stop moving so I could cross there. I don't understand what the fuck, what is happening. Are they trolling me specifically in Chicago? Is that what that is? What's happening there? The highway's fast, but the loco's slow as shit, yeah. Yeah, the main thing I remember about Chicago is those roads there being fucking wide. And yet somehow they can't fucking get to where they're supposed to go fast enough. I don't know what it is. You ever going 90 plus and then 45? and they're still bummed over. You know, it's crazy. Yeah. I will say though, Chicago City experience was a lot more fun than the New York City experience. I do not think I liked New York City. It's at least not right next to Times Square, because that place is crowded as fuck, and there's a ton of people trying to scam you, and there's garbage literally everywhere. I had like a Spider-Man cosplayer get mad at me for taking a photo of a building, and he thought I was trying to take a photo of him, and he was gonna like fucking beat me up for not giving him like $40 for a photo of him, I guess. He wasn't physically threatening me. He just walked and was like, dude, delete that fucking photo right now. I'm like, alright. I just was taking a photo of the building. I was very confused. Chicago Transport Spectacular. I didn't actually try the public transit at Chicago at all. Or New York City when I went there. New York City, I pretty much just walked everywhere. I think I only took an Uber back to the hotel like once, just because it was late and I was too lazy to carry all my shit in that walk when it was also late at night alone. So I was just like, let me just take an Uber. It's not that far away. And it was pretty simple. It was pretty straightforward. I think it was only a little annoying with the traffic, but it wasn't that far away. Chicago, I didn't really, anywhere I needed to go that I couldn't walk to was like pretty fucking far away, and I needed to get to it quickly. Like when we were going to the tour of that one house there, whose name I can't remember. When we went to that house, that was a fun experience. Getting there, oh my god, it took forever. It was like an hour plus the drive there. And getting back, a couple of us were trying to get an Uber back, and it took fucking forever to get an Uber back. Ubers would not pick us up for this. They would not pick us up for that ride. It took forever. Sometimes somebody would accept it, and then they just cancel it and disappear. We're just like, we just want to go back, please. Please. Take us back to the con. I normally take the train into downtown, and it's like $7.50 for the whole day round trip at like 2 hours each way. I see. But yeah, it is interesting looking into all this stuff. I'm very interested to see how Offkai is going to be. Many of my friends who I've only known online for years in the visual novel development community are going. So we're going to have a fun time together. And I get to see what a VTuber convention is like, being a PNG tuber now myself. And hopefully, by then, when I go, I'll have also debuted as a live 2D VTuber. Because, I mean, like I said, we have the model ready. I'm just working on getting all the debut stuff ready. The time, because like I said, we probably weren't going to be debuting this month anyways. You know, people are too busy. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stream most of these days. So I don't know if I want to stream a big event like that with that uncertainty. So, you know, but hopefully by the time Offkai comes around, which is in like July, the end of July, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure probably like January, February is when the debut will happen. So we'll see about that. So Offkai will be an exciting experience, I think. And so will Asen, of course. And, of course, Anime Boston. If you're going to Anime Boston, you gotta hang out with me. You gotta say hi. That's how that works. That's my home turf. I don't know if I'm gonna get a hotel for Anime Boston this year, though. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. But I am gonna go, of course, because it's my home. It's my home. That's my home. So, let me read chat here. Sakurai, how's it going? Hello. I hope you are doing well. Ooh, a debut. Yes, of course. That's happening pretty soon. I don't know when exactly, but pretty soon. We're gonna schedule things, get it ready. I want to talk with a couple other VTubers that I know for like advice on like making it a really nice event and like prepping for it and all that, and making sure that everything goes well. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. I spent most of today grinding mahjong. I'm doing really good on my ranked in Ricci City. And then I booked hotel room stuff for Offkai. And now I'm getting ready to read a visual novel. So yeah. How's it going, Andy? Stream loaded, yay. I can't stay long because no Wi-Fi, but we moved into the new house today. Oh, alright. Which means I have my Fiscal Orin copies. Yo, let's go. But no Wi-Fi, so won't be able to stay for stream. That's okay. Thanks for stopping by anyways, Andy. And I hope things go really well moving into the new place, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a nice place, and I hope you get very great Wi-Fi there. I hope you get very great internet connection. And then you get to have fun and have a nice, I think you said you're getting a nice like office area there, which is going to be nice. Today I've been drawing for Secret Santa stuff to get done. Ooh, nice, nice. I need to get back on my art grind. That's probably what I'm going to be doing a lot of with my vacation time.
Drink water.
Okay. Okay, I see. I see. You having issues with the Wi-Fi, but not enough to stop you from hydrating me like this. I see how it is. No, it's okay. I see how it is. By the way, she got blocked by the image of the Grink. Hold on, I gotta remove several things from the scene again that don't need to be here. Shadows references need to be here. What's this? Penguin. Oh yeah, I did a bunch of images for penguin memes. Hold on. That's a penguin. That's a penguin. Oh my god, look at all the penguins. What is this? Oh, that's the Twitch recap thing. Okay, we can delete all of these. Alright, what's this one? What's this one? Hey everybody, James for Fun Foods. Wait, if I...
Now, these are really cool, so keep watching, and I'll show you step by step how to make these. In a medium to large bowl, we're going to...
I forgot it's literally the entire video. We'll just leave him going in the background here. You guys can't hear him. You shouldn't be able to hear him right now. You should have been able to hear him slightly before because I unmuted him, but we'll leave him there.
Hey everyone, it's James from Fun Foods, and today we're going to make...
Okay, well, that's a bigger one than I had. I think that one just stops at him saying Among Us cookies. Oh yeah, this guy. That's me. Well, I'm kind of being blocked by James for Fun Foods. Nice little wallpaper thing there. That's the Obobo drawing of me. Okay, so I was just showing off a bunch of fan art that we got through Skeb. Wait, did I post the Obobo thing twice? I did. This one. This one. Oh, I got one in the mail. So most of the ones I just showed are Skebs, except for the Obobo one, which Oboro did. Is very nice. I got one in the mail from my sister for birthday/Christmas. Let me show that off real quick. Save image. Show. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him. It's very, very good. It's very nice. Yeah, they don't live here anymore. They live in like Seattle. So but we still get to talk to each other online. So it was nice to receive that as a gift. It was very sweet. All right, let's bring back the Grink, Avatris. I don't need these. Let's bring back James for Fun Foods. Obviously. And then what's this? Oh, that's the reference. Okay. Okay, cool. Clean up the scene. The scene of the crime. Where are my alerts? Alerts are down here. Do I need my alerts all the way down there? I could probably raise up my alerts. I wonder if there's a way, or like an OBS plugin, where you can say, like, always keep this folder or thing at the top, even if I add stuff. I don't know. Oh, fan art, I see. Yeah. It's so cute and cozy. Yeah. It's all been very great art so far. I very much appreciate all of them. Did you say earlier you wanted back on art? Well, oh yes, I gotta get back on my art grind. I've been too focused on the mahjong grind. I gotta get back on the art grind for the next like 2 weeks that I have off, pretty much. I gotta get my art hours in. I'm at like, let me check how many hours I got logged, because I wanted to try to get 500 hours by the end of the year. We're at like 350, I think, something like that. Which seems near impossible to get at this point before the year ends. However, I feel like I've been able to do that easily with mahjong. So perhaps if I lose my mind doing nothing but art, it's possible. Let me see here. Projects. 364 hours is what we're at. At the very least, I want to hit 400. I think it's definitely possible for us to hit 400. I would like to hit 500. Let's do some quick math here, okay? I got calculator up. We're going to do some quick maths here. 500 hours minus 364, right? That's 136 hours we still got to get. Now, we have like 10 days left in the year, let's say. So not plus, divided by 10. That's 13 hours a day of art I would have to do. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, okay. 13 hours of art a day. There's 24 hours in a day. It says 13.6, by the way. It says 13.6. That's a lot of art hours I'd have to do. It's not happening at all. Knowing me, it's not impossible. It's very easy for me to get that kind of time for mahjong, because it's very easy to like look at the tiles and click the tiles. It's just a game I can keep running all day. I have the mental stamina to keep going with mahjong all day and night or whatever. Art's a little different. Art is different because, one, it has the mental, exhaustion, and two, it also has physical exhaustion of having to physically use my hand all day to do that, to draw it and do the motions. So art's going to be a little tricky with that. I at the very least know I could, in theory, hit 400 hours. Right? That one's far more easier to achieve. 364, that's 36, right? Just need 36 more hours divided by 10. So it's like 3.6 hours a day. You know, doing art for 4 hours a day. I could definitely hit 400 at least. And to be fair, not hitting 500 does not mean I failed. Because, like, still, 400 hours of art in a year is still impressive. I think. I don't think that's anything to, like, feel bad about, that I didn't hit 500. And honestly, though, I understand when I look at my Ricci City Mahjong hours, having only started playing it in, like, June, and that has far gone past 500 hours. It's at 587 hours. It's about to be at 600 hours, okay? When I've only had it for, like, half the year. Listen. You can blame the tiles on me not hitting my hours, really. The tiles are what did it. But to be fair, Mahjong is like this thing where, like, I now, like, I got so hooked on it because, one, it makes a lot of sense to me how the game works. It feels like a game that I will not get exhausted by. It feels like a game that is still fun to learn new strategies about. And it feels like a game that I can actually improve on and can actively get better at a level that's not just, like, nothing. Like, I don't feel like it's impossible for me to have a shot at other... And I think a big part of it is the fact that, especially in the ranked modes of these games, first or second place counts as winning. First place is obviously better, but second place is you're still winning. And there's like 4 players in a game, so, you know, I don't know. I gotta go eat dinner now, bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry for yapping a little too much before we get started here. I guess we had a lot to yap about today. So we're gonna be reading through First Snow. We're gonna be reading a visual novel. So this is a prequel to another visual novel by the same studio. I believe this is all published by Studio on the end, but I think the studio that developed it is it Sally or Salty? Hold on. What does it say? Salty. Yeah, Salty Studios. That's who made this game. They made Twofold, and then First Snow I think is a twofold story. And like I said, I think it's like a prequel. I did not finish Twofold. I think I launched Twofold at some point and I didn't finish it, but I messaged my friend of the channel, Arimia, who works at Studio Lawn, and asked her if First Snow was a thing that I could just jump into because of the wintry theme without having finished Twofold. And she said yes, absolutely. So that's why we're going to go into it today, to continue with our festive winter themes here. So that's what we're going to do. So, yeah. Let me get things started here. Now, I did not like fully test everything out before we set up the stream. You're getting what you're going to get here. I may have to make adjustments as it goes. I'm a very professional streamer, I'll have you know. Okay? Very profesh. Don't ever think otherwise. Also, let me close all these tabs I have open for other things. All the hotel booking stuff can go away. Also, can you get James from Fun Foods off here? Why is James from Fun Foods here? Alright, let me move this. Check to make sure I got water. Good. Alright, let's switch over to the scene. Okay. We should be alright with this. Now Ari's not in the chat, okay? But I did immediately notice while I was trying to set up the audio level for this, okay? Maybe I'm just blind. Okay, my mouse cursor has now disappeared, which is a little annoying. That's not supposed to happen in this game. This was not happening before, by the way. My mouse cursor was not disappearing before in this game. Alright, I'm gonna restart the game. Okay, well, the game will also not close now. It has taken over all of the visuals on my main screen. Huh. I'm gonna switch this back to just chatting. See if I can figure out how to force close this program that will not close itself. It's a little concerning. It just actually will not force close itself. Well, that's a little... Okay, it eventually closed after I opened up Task Manager and said die the death. Eventually it closed. Let's try this again. Let's try this one more time. All right. I haven't any idea why it's not showing my cursor with this game anymore. It was not doing this before. I'm gonna turn off full screen if it lets me. And then try to, like, move it? And then full screen it again? What has happened here? I cannot see my cursor anymore on here. This is not happening before. Do I, like... What's happening to do this? What? Okay, I'll try closing it and opening it again. It was perfectly fine before. Nothing changed for this to happen. I don't know what's going on. Let me try to think what could possibly be causing this issue of the mouse cursor. I don't know. I can't imagine what would be causing this. Let's boot it up again and see if it'll work now that I've closed it regularly. Welcome, Shadow. How's it going? Okay, and then when I full screen it, my cursor disappears. But why? Why does my cursor disappear? Is it like detecting my... Does it think I'm using a controller or something? Or what's going on here?
Hey, this is Rose speaking. Turn her up more.
Okay, by the way, the thing that I noticed that this game doesn't seem to have, it's got volume sliders for music, ambient, sound effects. It doesn't have a general volume slider. We can slide for each of the individual characters, though, but not all of the voices in general. There's no, like, master volume control for all the voices that I can see. I also don't know why my cursor disappears when I go to do this. Now, perhaps it has some weird thing to do with OBS, despite not giving me issues before with OBS. Joined a Wind and Fire attribute only tournament in Yu-Gi-Oh! I played Salad and won. Probably the only time Salads will win, I think. The only time Salads will win. I don't know what you think about Salad and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just talking about Salad and the real life concept of a salad. I don't understand what is happening here. Hold on. We're gonna, real quick. First of all, we're gonna exit the game. Yes. And then I'm gonna do the pro gamer move of finding my game settings for this and then removing them entirely. My saved Ren'Py settings, which are going to be somewhere in app data, I believe. App data, is it local Ren'Py? Maybe it's roaming. Roaming Ren'Py. Yes. And this is first snow. It will be F? Yes, first snow. Okay. Delete. Boom. Now, I've removed the settings. Now, when I open it, all the settings will be reset. Which hopefully, whatever caused my cursor to go away will also be reset. And my cursor will be back. I do not currently see my cursor, though. Okay, well, that's a little annoying. I have no idea what could possibly cause my cursor to disappear with this game. I have no idea whatsoever what could do this. Is it like, hold on, I'm gonna close my model. Is it my model? Oh my god, it was my model? How? How is that even possible? How does having my model up... How? How? What has happened? How does my model turn off the cursor with this game? How is that possible? Oh, by the way, I think we're a small version of my model anyways right now. We could be bigger now. Is it like because it's touching the edge of the screen? No, it's just the window being open in general. The window being open in general will do this. I don't understand why. Is it like a GPU thing? I can't fathom why. I'm really gonna have to become the Fugi PNG tuber for this game? I didn't think it'd be an issue. Nobody expected that to be an issue. What is happening here? What if I put my model on this screen, which will fuck with the size a bit, I think. But not too much. And then I try to click on the game. No, the cursor's still gone. Oh, okay. Put him back over here. Well, alright, I guess I'm switching to a Fugi. I'm gonna join a Discord. That was my Discord. If you heard that, that was my Discord. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Don't be scared. That was my Discord, not yours. I guess I'm just going to Fugi mode. Fuck it. Who needs to actually, you know, use their program that should not be messing with... Like, I don't understand what the issue is here. What was the issue? Alright, we're here now. And now the mouse works. Okay. All of that aside, the first things first, we like to check our game settings whenever we boot up a new game, right? Theme, story, fall, winter. I don't know what the difference is. I'm assuming it's going to be the theme of how the text box and other stuff looks once the game starts. Obviously, we want to set to winter, but I want to check out what all these look like. Text speed, we're probably going to want to boost this up. Now music, I already lowered this a bit. I also had to lower this from my system settings because, as I explained, the voices do not have a volume slider unless you go through literally every single voice in the game. We don't have a...
hello? Hello?
We don't have, like, a centralized volume slider.
Is this thing working? Is this thing working?
So I've already lowered my system volume of the game to account for that, and then raised up these a bit. I don't know how these are going to sound. We might have to adjust these later. We'll find out. We'll turn up the music a bit. I also don't know what emphasized voices means. Did they have them record several lines? Kira Buckland? That's a name I recognize. And Jill Harris. I saw them at a con. I think it was Anime Boston.
Testing 1, 2.
Was Jill Harris also Fern? I think Jill Harris was Fern from Freerun in the English dub. because I think the Anime Boston event was the Japanese and English voice actresses for Fern being at a like question Q&A thing. I think that's what that was. All right, we got those. Accessibility, text color, text fonts, music cues. That's all nice. Cue music. That's all nice. Okay, sweet. Key bindings. We got a lot of them. Extras. All right, so we're gonna play through this. No, I don't want to quit. I just want to go back to the main menu. Thank you. All right. I don't know how long this is going to be. It's also voice acted, so I might not even have to read that much, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll play through this, and then we'll see what happens for tomorrow if we have time for the Grink. So let's begin with First Snow, Twofold First Snow. Again, reminder for those who weren't here for the explanation. Twofold is another. It was the original Yuri visual novel story, and this is like a prequel of that. But I confirmed with friend of the stream, Arimia, who works at Studio Lawn, who helped publish this game on Steam, that it is okay to read through this. It is okay for us to read through this, having not started or finished Twofold, because it's a prequel, and it's got a nice wintry setting for us to enjoy, so we're all good. Maybe if we finish fast enough, we can play the Grinch. I don't know if it's that fast of a game. I think it's supposed to be like a 4-hour read, or 3-hour read, something like that. By the time we get done at that rate, it's probably like 1 a.m. We'll see how it goes. Alright, let's get started. The first snow of the... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me move my mic here so it's closer. Alright. The first snow of the year should be a comforting sight, yet this carries a different feeling when so far from home. Winter has always been my favorite time of the year, but the joy of warm fires and upcoming holidays is missing. There's only a month left to go until the season begins in earnest, but I can't feel any of the usual excitement. The coming winter will be the first I've spent away from my family, after all. It's just me now, standing alone on a concrete balcony and looking out onto a gray sky.
Hey, Allison! Aren't classes soon?
A woman's barking from down below breaks me out of my thoughts. Her familiar figure, clad in leather, stares up, snow heaped on the rusted shovel in her hands. Wait, what are these poses? We got base, gun, and... Does that say hit and run? What? Hit? Does that say hit and run? Looks like the heating's died again. Hold on, wait. Also, let me adjust the volumes of... We'll turn up the music and the ambience and the sound effects a bit. The voice, I think, was a good volume, but everything else was a little low, which made it kind of jump scare me a tiny bit all of a sudden. Maybe it was just me, though. Looks like the heating's died again. The inside of the apartment no warmer than out there. This new home might be a little shabby, but at least it's ours. A quick glance at my phone. Sorry, I had to drink some water real quick. All right. A quick glance at my phone as I walk to get my coat and my bag confirms her to be right. The morning's message from a friend still showing on the screen.
It's time to drink water.
Is it?
It's time to drink water.
Big news, Allie. I'll tell you later in bio. It's time to drink water. It's true. The idea of big news at this of all times fills me with worry. I'm already too busy just trying to keep up with my new life. With time marching on, I quickly slipped the phone back into my coat and set off for the stairs. I shouldn't have a problem making it to class if I keep a good pace. The busily shoveling woman is still working away, her efforts obvious to see. The snowfall has been impressive for a single night, but a good amount's already been cleared, her heavy breathing easily visible in the cold air. Keeping a brisk pace, as much as to get to my classes on time as it is to try and warm myself up, I try to wave a quick goodbye. It's obvious she won't let me go without giving her 2 cents, though, as she puts her shovel against the wall and takes a good stretch.
Morning, Rose. Working hard already?
Hardly working.
Hey, someone's gotta do it. Not like those useless lumps will.
Those useless lumps. Rose jerks her head towards the apartments. She's not really wrong, but her usual tactlessness is on full display. I'm going to adjust the volume. Again, we're going to go through volume adjustments until I get it right for my ears.
You all bundled up? Looks like winter's coming early going by the paper.
Well, winter's coming early.
I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Just take it easy on the way there, right?
I had to pause to myself for a second. She said, oh, looks like winter's coming early. And I'm just looking at like heavy snowfall.
I will.
A weak smile in her response as I start off down the road. She knows that I'm right. This is hardly the first exchange. How did I just say that? This is hardly the first exchange we've had like this. Every other morning, Rose comes up with something or another to definitely not be concerned about. I don't, though. That kindness is one of her better traits. The weather's been getting steadily colder for a while now. The few workers braving the morning chill are slowly making their way down to the bus station for work. Those staying behind grumbling as they shovel snow from the roofs of their cars and their driveways. There aren't many students down this way as I walk, however. Student accommodation filled up fast, and the nearby apartments were all rented out soon after that. Thank goodness for a family friend offering to let me live with them. Helpful as Rose may be, there's still some sense of being a foreigner. It's only been 2 months since I moved in and started classes at college. My circle of high school friends and boisterous family home turning overnight to a cramped apartment shared between Rose and I. As the school buildings come into view, I join the tired masses staggering through the gates and towards their classes. Much as I might worry, I know I'm not alone. I'm sure many of the students around me right now are going through exactly the same thing. It's only now that I realize I haven't had my usual morning coffee back at the apartment to wake myself up. With a little time before biology class starts, I'll have to content myself with a quick can of soda from the vending machine. Heading over to the Union Building on the way to class, the morning chill's driven away the usual gaggle of those sitting on the stairs and blocking the entrance. Rubbing my hands together to summon some warmth, I head on in. With the heating being cranked right up, you can almost forget it's winter outside. My relief doesn't last long, however. Okay, it's been a while since we read Vienne. I gotta get myself together here. My heart nearly stops as a deafening clatter comes from ahead. A couple walking arm in arm skirt around the edge of the room, doing their best to not draw the attention of a blonde woman nearby. She grumbles loudly before delivering another kick to the poor, abused vending machine in front of her. I hate situations. Okay, hold on. This is very funky music. We gotta tone it down a bit. Just a bit. Gotta tone it down a bit. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Here we go. I hate situations like these. Either I do nothing and feel bad for not helping, or step in and deal with the stress that comes with confronting someone involved. As I try to work my way out of this, my heart freezes as the woman locks eyes with me. Oh my god, she's got the death stare going on at me. I didn't do anything, please. I must make for a pitiable sight with my hands raised defensively in front of me, her rage calming as she settles for staring daggers at the machine. Resigned to my fate, I reluctantly shuffled towards her as my heart beats wildly. As I do, her dour look is only made all the more intimidating from the bags under her eyes.
Is something wrong?
Stupid thing ate my money. No can or change at all.
Threw $5 in there too.
Where's my drink? Labeled drink. I need my drink labeled drink.
The vending machine here messes up sometimes. It's usually better to go through to the cafeteria for drinks.
Yeah, well, now we got a problem here, Allison. It's got my fucking money. How am I supposed to buy it from the cafeteria without my fucking money, Allison?
They should fix it then.
That's true, they should. Recounting the event only serves to stir up her annoyance another... comma, that's a comma. Recounting the event only serves to stir up her annoyance. Another foot being jammed into the accused. The horrible noise makes me cringe again, and I'm starting to worry she'll hurt herself as much as the machine itself.
Don't kick it again!
Why not? Thing's already broken, isn't it?
I want to say that I'd rather not get in trouble with the staff, but I get the feeling that wouldn't faze her. Reviewing my options as quickly as I can, there's only one solution I can think of that might settle her down. I probably shouldn't, but if nobody's paying much attention...
Which drink did you want?
She gives me a curious look after I manage to squeak the words out, but eventually points.
I was just grabbing a lemonade on the way out.
Could you turn around for a moment?
With reluctance, she turns away as I ask. I doubt she could work out what I'm doing by looking, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Oh, we're gonna rob the machine. Closing my eyes and silently mouthing the right sequence to make sure I don't mess it up, I go about my business. With any luck, the software inside has been updated since I last... Oh my god, we're hacking the machine. Oh, alrighty then. A long sigh of relief passes my lips as the vending machine rattles away, loudly dumping a can into the small opening. Holding the can before the blonde woman's face as she turns back around, my reward is a somewhat impressed expression as she takes the item. Now that she has her drink and had a chance to get her frustration out of her system, she seems to be calming a little. Her height doesn't help her look any less intimidating, though. With that, I consider the matter settled as I nod and begin to walk away. Only as I leave do I realize my heart's racing after having to deal with her. I've been hearing her heart going the whole time, by the way. Did you notice it? I can feel it with my headphones, at least.
Hey, wait up!
What did it
Hey,
call
wait
her?
up!
Oh, it labeled her as Mad Girl. Reaching for my instinctual response, I pretend not to hear her as I skitter away and disappear back through the entrance. The cold hits me like a wall as I leave through the door. I hardly mind heaving a sigh to steady myself as I head towards classes. I only remember now that I had intended to grab a drink myself, but fidgeting with the machines probably made me too late. The empty campus grounds makes me nervous, making me take my phone in hand to check the time. A quick glance is all that's needed to send me dashing towards the sciences building. Jesse, it's science time. Science will be my presents for Christmas, Jesse. It's going to be one of those days. Hello? Hold on, I gotta clean my glasses a bit. My glasses. I can't see shit. Panting from the run, I stagger into biology class with as much composure as I can muster. The sight seems to make a pitiable impression on the professor, who merely nods for me to take a seat. Setting my bag next to me, I quickly take the seat next to a now familiar figure. The diminutive Caprice? Caprice? Shoots a grin and a wave as I sit, earning a smile in return. Is it Caprice? I'm going to say it's Caprice. It's nice to see a friendly face. As the professor gets back to lecturing, I grab my still pristine textbook from my bag, flicking through to the bookmark I'd added for where we were... what? Hold on. Let me read this again. I grab my still pristine textbook from my bag, flicking through the bookmark I'd added for where we are currently. Movement from the corner of my eye takes my attention. A ripped piece of sketch pad sliding before me. Oh no! Your perfect attendance record! What happened? Her writing is surrounded by various doodles and scribbles already on the page. I should pay attention to the class, but it isn't that easy to wave Caprice off. Then again, this is largely reviewing what we covered in high school right now. It probably wouldn't hurt to chat with her a bit. Got held up with someone. I wrote a brief reply and a little accompanying drawing before sliding it back over. A quick look to the professor, making sure the coast is clear as he drones on. Caprice's reply as the page is passed back makes me grimace. I should have expected that. I almost reply before noticing the professor casting a knowing glance my way as he continues with his teaching. He knew what we were doing, didn't he? Thinking better of it, I tuck the page beneath my textbook and start listening properly. I don't need to look at Caprice to know her reaction. I'm trying to think to myself, I don't think there was ever a time I was late for a college class. I think it was either I was very early and on time for a class, or I was just not going that day for whatever reason. Like most of the time though, I was just there. But college I did discover, like, because it's college classes and you're paying to be there and they don't really give a shit. You can just leave in the middle of the class, go do some other things, and then come back. Like, nothing stops you, and you don't have to check with them. You just leave. That's just how it works. And I think I only really did that once, because most of the time I don't really have to. I was in, like, the middle of some class, and a friend said that they were there on the campus, wanted to hang out for a bit. So I was like, well, I'm in the middle of class, and they're only going to be around for a bit. I'm just going to walk out for a second. Let's just leave. Go back to my suite, hang out with them for a bit, and then go back to the class. And I did. You could just do that, apparently. I only did that once, though. I don't recommend doing that, though, because then you're missing out on stuff. I think I didn't mind doing it there in that class, because it was like a class that I pretty much knew everything for, I think. I think I was, like, pretty solid on that one. Anyways, what was going on here? I hardly think worse of her for it, though. Swapping doodles during these classes was how she broke the ice with me when I was just another lonely freshman student. A shy one at that. Given we're still friends, I suppose it worked. Sneaking a glance back at the page beneath my book reminds me how well the mercurial girl can draw, at least compared to me. She mentioned one time that she's also taking art classes, which must be paying off. Before I know it, the class starts winding up. The other students begin to get distracted as time goes on. The professor's soon starting to wrap things up in response. No sooner do the words come from his mouth that the class is over. Does the loud clatter of people packing books and pens into their bags and backpacks begin. Priest wastes no time in talking as the two of us do the same.
I was worried you were sick today, Allie.
It was only a couple of minutes.
For you, that's a lot.
She has a point. It's likely I was more concerned about this than the teacher. After near-perfect attendance through high school, though, the last thing I want is to set a bad expectation from the staff here.
Setting that aside, I'm not sure the professor really likes us passing notes to each other in class.
Yeah, well, also you're paying to be there, okay? It's tough shit to your professor.
Oh, don't worry about him. He's cool. We've talked.
You've talked about note passing?
Well, if you're sure, I do like seeing your drawings.
Aw, and I like seeing yours. I'm glad you're here today, actually. I've been thinking, and I need your help with something.
Okay, what's that? What's up?
We're making an art club.
We're what? We gotta get our art hours in already?
But there's already an art.
Art 2?
Wait, why is there a we there? How am I part of this?
Well, you're already signed up. You're gonna be the captain of it, probably.
You're a founding member, of course.
Oh, achievement unlocked. The new art club. Get wrapped up in Caprice's enthusiasm. Why do I get the feeling Caprice is Why do I get the feeling Caprice has been mulling this over in her head for ages? Plans seem to already be in motion for her, and I'm not sure what choice I have left in this. I'll have to mull things over as I take my coat from the back of my seat and slip it on, the two of us taking our bags and joining the others and heading out into the hallway. I hadn't even considered joining a club, let alone starting one up with all the work that entail. Oh, am I not reading? Oh, we're not reading this? Okay. I can help, but I have my schoolwork to concentrate on, you know? Getting a scholarship wasn't easy, and I'd rather not waste it. Alright. You were majoring in chemistry, weren't you? I give a nod, albeit a slightly guilty one. Not that I dare have told my family, but I only picked chemistry because I happen to be good at it. Like most things in life, I just went with the default option before me. At least Caprice seems to have moved on from me being a part of this. I have enough going on in my life between moving to a new home and studying for college to think about spending time in clubs and things. I'm surprised you're taking biology classes, to be honest. Aren't you more into art? It's hard to pick a favorite, but right now, bio is just the entry-level stuff. It's so boring, right? I talked to the professor, though, and we're getting into some marine life chapters soon. That seems very specific.
Yeah!
It's the most interesting part! I gotta focus hard when we get there. I plan on making it my major. So even a free spirit like Caprice has something she's working towards. It seems I can't get away from how much of a mess my life is, with no idea what I want to do for a career. The two of us head outside, with our next classes in other buildings. As we do, I look about warily as students from other classes pass by. I'd rather not bump into that angry woman again. Who were you held up with anyway? Bump into a friend? That would require there to be another beyond her in the first place. She is about the last person I'd call a friend. Kind of scary, actually. She might have been asking out small talk. What was wrong with me? How come I can't read? She might have been asking out of small talk before, but now I have her full interest. With reluctance, I think back to the event. Not sure if you'd know her. Tall, blonde, green eyes, very sharp look with high boots. Kind of pretty? Now that I have the time to think it through, she was quite beautiful. And more than her body, too. I liked her sense of fashion. I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
Huh?
You do? Yep, our other founding member. Oh, alright. She hasn't dropped the idea of me joining at all, and now wants her, of all people, to be part of this. My reaction to the news, apparently, shows on my face. If we're thinking of the same person, I've seen her around, and I've heard some things. She floats around the art department a lot, so the other art club tried to grab her. She didn't even pretend to consider it, just told them to get lost. Which means she's still free. If she's already rejected one club, why would she join another?
Exactly.
Because it's led by me, of course. I just sigh. I need to get to my next class. Being late for one today is already too much. Resigned to my fate, I wave goodbye and start to head off. Not more than a couple of seconds later, I hear her calling out behind me. Before you go, meet me on the second floor of the arts building after classes, okay? We need to get started on finding a club room and stuff. Looks like I'm going to be part of this scheme whether I like it or not. Dealing with that woman again makes me shudder. But she'll surely just reject Caprice, and that'll be that. Oh, little do you know. Yo, Christmas tree. Nice tree. Walking through the halls at these hours is a wholly different experience to the normal hustle and bustle. You know, looking at the tree reminded me, I thought it would be fun at some point. I'd have to look into it. Doing some kind of stream event where I'm looking through, like, there's got to be some, like, subreddit for, like, Christmas decorations, right? I think it'd be funny to look at like weird looking Christmas decorations people have set up and posted, like bad ones or like awkward ones or like funny ones. I feel like it'd be cool to judge those. I feel like it'd be nice. I don't know. Or just looking at different types of designs people have done in general. I feel like that might be a fun stream, but I don't know if there's like a good centralized place for me to see those. I don't know if there's a subreddit for them. There might be. If there's a subreddit, that would be cool. Walking through the halls at these hours is a wholly different experience than the normal hustle and bustle. Where students gossiped in the hallways, organized dates, and hurried between classes with arms full of overpriced textbooks. There's now a sweet silence. All to be seen at this hour is the odd straggler thinking more about dinner than homework. Well, them and the Christmas decorations. I get the feeling that the arts and humanities staff take some enjoyment out of getting ready for the occasion. Much like the school itself, the decorations look a bit ragged, probably hauled out every year for decades. With little to do until Caprice shows up, exploring the arts building and peering into this classroom or that winds up passing the time. Heading up the stairs, I take my time strolling through the hallways. Everything is bathed in the orange of the sunset, the quiet of the halls giving the building a serene atmosphere. It's calming after the day's events. It isn't until a good few minutes pass that I find the first thing of much interest. A single room with the door left open. With curiosity getting the better of me, I stroll up to the hallway and gingerly step inside. At least I can close the door for them. I got one for you right now then. Send it over. What do you got? What do you got for us? And by the way, if it's like decorations from your own home or whatever, you know, let me know if that's okay to show on stream or not. I don't want to be doxing you or anything if that's what you're planning to do. I have no idea. Okay. Let me continue here. With only a handful of chairs actually against some tables, or set against tables, I think the room unused, if not for the paints, papers, and sketchbooks strewn across the tops of the cupboards. If Caprice wanted a club room, this would be as good as any. As I peer about, the sight of one particular canvas amongst it all catches my attention. The painting of a woman standing in water sits drying on the easel, the painter's utensils still lying about. Stepping up to look at it, I'm surprised by how old-fashioned it is, like the kind of oil painting that would be drawn a century ago or so. Every brushstroke and line has depth to it, the painter's every movement clearly visible. It looks pretty nice, I think. Again, there aren't hours in. I find myself struck by its beauty, time slipping by me as I stare. Her soft-looking skin and flowing locks of hair are enough to make me wistfully sigh, her face telling of her free spirit. It's beautiful. My thoughts are suddenly interrupted by the creaking of the door opening further, causing me to whip around in fright. Oh God, it's her. Oh God. Oh no, she's hot. The particular person standing in the doorway looking straight at me does nothing to settle my racing heart, much less the fact that I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm not even supposed to be here. Sorry, I mean... I quickly try to stammer out something, but the words keep catching in my throat. Oh, it's the vending machine girl. Allison.
Hi?
Allison Merlot. So, you have a name. I'm Eileen Turner, for what it's worth. I quickly nod, for all my nervousness about being, maybe being somewhere I shouldn't. Eileen doesn't actually seem to care that much. In fact, she almost looks bored. If this room's used by a bunch of people, there's a good chance she might not know I'm an intruder. Well, I'm going to close this place up. If you want anything, you should grab it. Not that I think you have anything here. cold edge to her voice freezes my entire body.
Wait!
I mean, I can explain. Eileen narrows her eyes and crosses her arms, waiting for my response. A response which is interrupted by a familiar voice booming from the entrance.
Allie!
Hey, Allie. I don't think I've been so glad to see Caprice. Ever. Given this art club business was her idea, it's for the best that if she explains it all. Eileen doesn't look impressed as Caprice skips into the room, looking this way and that like some tourist. Good work! You already found us a room! This'll work perfectly.
Ugh.
So, Caprice got herself a new goon. What? I wish I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yep. You're not supposed to agree with that. And what do you want this room for, pray tell? Well, the current art club is awful. I'm sure you know. So instead of dealing with them, we're going to form our own, and it looks like you and Ellie have found us our club room. I see what's happened here now. Caprice engineered the situation so we'd all be here together. This isn't a very subtle scheme, but that's all the more reason for her to have come up with it. I try my best to backpedal in a way that doesn't upset either. I just thought we'd draw a bit. I didn't mean to intrude.
Seriously?
I got permission to use this room to practice my painting, not for some dumb club.
Cool.
Sorry, but it's 2 against 1. Majority rule. I don't think that's how... You can't vote somebody out of their own house. I don't think that's how that works. I didn't say anything about a club. Well, too bad. This is a dictatorship. Eileen stands her ground, staring down her opponent as I try my best to stay well out of their argument. Her resolve doesn't last long, though. Realizing the futility of it, she eventually heaves a sigh at Caprice's antics. I can't say I wholly blame her. I just want to work in peace. That isn't much to ask.
Come on.
What? I'm going. Not going to get anything more done today anyway. I still have to nail their different voices. It's been a while since I did different voices. Eileen turns to me after picking up her coat from a desk and pulling her scarf around her, rather paintedly, being finished with Caprice.
Bye.
See you around, I guess. Yeah. At a loss for how I'm supposed to respond to such an unenthusiastic tone, I'm left standing silently by a frustrated what? I'm left standing silently by as a frustrated Eileen throws her backpack over a shoulder and strides out. She guilty gear that's strive, not stride. She guilty gear strides out. That's what she does, yeah. That's a good joke. That was a good joke. You're supposed to laugh. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Caprice just smiles and shrugs as she looks back to me. The argument they had just moments ago flowing off her like the water on a duck's back. Well, that's how it is. I feel like I got dragged into something. I didn't really think that'd work, but it was worth a try. She's not listening to me at all. Am I really just an instrument to try and win this argument between them? No, I can't think like that. Caprice is forceful, but she means well. If this did end up being a club, I'd probably enjoy it. Caprice certainly wouldn't make it dull, and I think if Eileen got to know me, she'd be nicer to me, but I don't want to risk Eileen getting even more annoyed with me. Feels like I've been left to hunker down in a foxhole in no man's land, and all I can do right now is hold my helmet on tight. As the orange of the sunset starts to wane outside, it becomes obvious that nothing more is going to get done today, just as Eileen said.
Take care.
I better head home. It's getting late. See you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
See ya. If you ever want to draw, feel free to drop by the new club room. Precisely none of what Eileen said penetrated, did it? Can I save my game? Is that a thing that I'm allowed to do? Or is that an autosave file, or is that like new, or is that, what is this? Yeah, okay. I wanted to see, like, if I go to like extras, Okay, so we're still in scene 1, and it looks like there is an act 2 later. Okay, so we got ways to go. Okay, I was trying to gauge like if each of these is like a different smaller scene, but it seems like we got more to go. That's what it seems like. Okay, that's the scene select thing. I just wanted to check that. I want to see how that works. I just give a weak smile as I wave and take my bag, idly wondering if Rose will be cooking something for dinner or bringing home takeout. It's something more heartening to think about than today's efforts anyway. As I collapse onto the couch and settle in, the deafening sound of silence rushes in. The odd passing car from the street below the apartment only highlights the quiet of the room. Plucking my phone from my pocket after dropping my bag on the cushion beside me, I take quick note of the time. I guess Rose got stuck in traffic. An annoying train of thought starts up once again as I put it away. One that's crept up on me occasionally ever since moving out, just waiting for when nothing's around to distract me. I can cope with the schoolwork easily enough. It's mostly just review right now. People like Caprice might be a handful, but they do liven up the day's routines. It's a fair distance to campus from here, but the walk helps keep me fit. The silence, that I can't deal with. Grabbing the remote and flicking on the television at least provides some background noise, but it's no replacement for the sounds of home. There's no mother busying herself over the cooking pot to welcome me home and ask how my day was. No excitable older brothers fighting about this silly thing or that. No father for me to happily see come home from work. It's just me now. My fingers roll over the screen in thought as it brings up the lock screen, mindlessly tracing out the cracks in the bottom corner. I could easily call them right now. My mom and dad both made it clear I could ring any time at all. But as I stare at the screen, a deep apathy strikes me. Before college, I thought that with my family and old friends just a phone call away, nothing would feel all that different. Maybe I just couldn't admit to myself how big of a change this would really be. Admitting defeat, the phone ends up on the couch beside me as I watch television. The news is interesting today, so at least it's some distraction from all this. Just when I thought I'd finally found a friend or two in college, it ends up being a mess. Why do people have to be so complicated? As the door behind me opens, I close my thoughts on the subject. There's no point in mulling things over any further. Achievement unlocked. Begin Act 1. Act 1. Art matters. That's what it's, so it's, I think my thing is blocking, but it says Act 1, Art matters. It matters. I'll have you know. It's time to get our art hours in, Mina. The Saturday morning air is brisk as I stagger back from the supermarket, hands with... I need to get my pauses correct here. My problem is I'm not like reading the full line ahead of time and processing it. I'm just reading it as I see it. The Saturday morning's air is brisk as I stagger back from the supermarket, hands full with bags. The apartment itself may be nothing to write home about, but it's certainly in a good location. I still don't feel like I've been pulling my weight when it comes to daily life with Rose, but at least I can help with errands like groceries. Her attempts to teach me handiwork skills have been less successful. Wait, what did I just do? Oh, I clicked off screen by accident. Her attempts to teach me handiwork skills have been less successful. Even this much has been a learning experience, my parents usually doing the shopping back when I lived with them. Reaching the apartment, I find Rose crouched outside and working on her motorbike. She looks perfectly content as she whiles away her time with tools spread around her, as if a child happily playing with her favorite toys.
Hey.
Working on the bike again?
Hey!
Huh? Oh yeah, that was quick. She levers herself up with a grunt before pulling back the edge of one bag with a finger to peer in, then another. I'm a little worried as she checks over my work. Having to hold my breath as she does isn't exactly helping. I'm still not used to the acrid smell of her smoking, but maybe that's a good thing. Good work. Everything we needed. And no weird impulse buys. Did we need more window cleaner, though?
Uh-huh.
You said to grab necessities if they're on sale and don't spoil, right?
Uh-huh.
You're learning. Could you help me down here once you put everything away? I need another set of hands. Without anything in particular planned for today, I agree before heading inside. The rickety stairs creak as I slowly head up with groceries in hand, fumbling with the door handle. My arms are thankful for the relief once I manage to drop the bags in the apartment after opening the door. Opening the fridge, I get to work stuffing in the frozen cold items first. Next, I open the cabinet doors and start ladling in the cans and boxes. As the empty shelves fill, I get an odd sense of satisfaction from caring for myself. Living as an adult is busy work, but it's rewarding in its own way. There's an odd and unexpected feeling of accomplishment from doing even simple tasks. I'm sure it'll wear off in time, but I'm holding on to it for now. With the job done, I close the cabinet to get back up to look about the room. The apartment is barely any warmer inside than out. I suppose there are downsides as well as upsides. Putting it out of my mind as best as I can, I head back down to Rose. Slipping back outside and closing the door behind me, familiar clangs and bangs carry on the air as Rose still works away. Pass a rag, would ya? I quickly take a seat near her on a patch cleared of snow, grabbing one of the turn-up pieces of old shirt and handing it to her. She seems to be cleaning out some part of the engine or another. Anything interesting happening at school? Not really. The schoolwork isn't too hard so far. A friend wants to start a club. A club, huh? That's cool. What kind? An art club, apparently. I'm not really sold on it, though. I need to study, and she basically came up with the whole idea by herself. Rose passes the rag back and puts the part in place, motioning for me to hold it while she wrenches it back in. After a few grunts, the job appears to be done as she puts the wrench down with a clunk and turns back towards me. Life's not about studying. I know you were a teacher's pet back in high school, but you could stand to be a bit more social. So, it's this again. This is another downside of living here. With so much of my time spent alone with Rose, there's, for better or worse, no easy way to escape her questioning. Or smoking. I know she has my best interests in mind, though. I'm glad to have someone around that can help me get to grips with adult life, even if I did find her intimidating at first. What was your college life like? Never had the chance to go. I'm left a little surprised as she gets back to her bike. I've only known Rose for a couple months now, so I'm still finding out new things about her all the time. Maybe you get why I'm on your case about all this stuff now. Not everyone gets the chances you have, so make the most of it. Go to parties, get some friends, and find a boyfriend sometime. Even if it doesn't last, it'll be a start. My family always pushed me to put such things aside and focus on my education, so that's what I did. The simplicity of life back then suited me just fine, and it worked out well going by my scholarship. I was never really interested in boys because I was so caught up in learning, is what I'd like to say, but I'm honest enough with myself to know that that's not the whole story. Seeing Eileen last week reminded me of that. Women like her keep catching my eye, and then there was that painting of hers. As time goes on, that difference in what I like looking at gets harder and harder to explain away.
Allison?
Rag, Allison? I hastily place a rag in her outstretched hand, Rose using it to try and rub some of the oil and grease off her hands. I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I'm not straight, if that's truly the case. While I'd like to talk with her about it, I can never quite seem to find the right time.
You right?
Huh?
Yeah. I was just thinking of how life is complicated.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, sure is. Hey, you bought that ice cream I asked for while you were out. It's in the freezer now, why? How about we have some? Could use a treat after work, and all morning on this thing. She has strange ideas about what makes a good dessert in the cold of winter, but I'm not going to stop her. Wait, what was that again? It was... ice cream? What did you want her to eat for a dessert? You're just like, it's cold. That means you can't have ice cream? Is it like a weird kind of ice cream? What kind of ice cream did she get? What's so weird about this? Am I weird for being fine eating ice cream in the winter? What's the problem? Ice cream is good all year round. What's the... Yes, chap, it's a sin. Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry, I forgot in winter you can only have like fucking, I don't even know, a hot dessert. You can only have like pie. Sorry, I forgot. You only have cookies, I guess. Only milk and cookies. As the two of us start packing up, another peaceful day rolls by. A loud yawn from Rose emanates from the couch, the droning of the television briefly overshadowed. The only other sound is the coffee pot boiling away from the kitchen, punctuated by the occasional passing car. Only half awake and still acting on autopilot, I lazily wipe the sleep from my eyes as I stagger towards the door. The smell of Rose's toast wafts invitingly through the air, making me envious of her later start to work. I let out a loud yawn before I can stifle it, causing Rose to look over from the couch.
Hey.
Wow, you look like Elle. Thank you. Stay up too late playing on your phone or something? Doesn't look like you got an hour's sleep. Rose is less than tactful about this. It's true that I shouldn't be so tired. I'm usually a morning person, but right now I can barely remember where I even put my phone. Rose picks herself up from the couch as she finishes her breakfast, brushing toast crumbs off herself as she starts towards the kitchen. Just the neighbors being loud again. I'm surprised you didn't hear them. I may say that, but it's hardly any real shock. She sleeps like a log, which I've always been jealous about. Rose puts down the plate in her hand, giving the matter more thought than I'd intended. The ones above us, right? Man, I'm sick of them. I'll go have a talk with them later today and get them. I'll go have a talk with them later today and get them to knock it off. Making a racket during the day is one thing, but the night's another. You don't have to do that. They might be quiet from now on anyway. She looks surprisingly disappointed at my attempts to wave off her concern. You have to stand up for yourself sometimes, Allison. Waiting for things to blow over ain't gonna always work. I don't know which kind of accent to give her yet still. I wind up rubbing my neck and avoid outright answering. Apparently dropping the topic, she sighs and disappears into the kitchen after taking her plate again. I just don't want to cause a fuss, especially on my behalf. Is that really so bad? With time rolling by, I glance about and see my phone on the corner of the table. Slipping it into my coat pocket, I skip over and grab my bag sitting by the door. As I stretch a bit to try and wake myself up before facing the cold outside, Rose calls out from behind me. Turning to see her shows a fistful of crumpled dollar bills in the hand thrust out towards me. Here, go buy yourself an espresso or something on the way.
Huh?
It's fine, you don't have to... Just take it, you look awful. She really does have a way with words. I reluctantly take the cash and slip it into my pocket, thanking Rose as I leave. As soon as I get out the door, the weather hits me. Looks like it's going to be a harsh winter this year, with the cold of the snow dumping down being made all the worse by the chilly fog hanging in the air. Twisting my head to and fro to bury it in my scarf for a little better, I set off down the road with hands firmly lodged in my coat pockets. There don't seem to be many people around that are braving the weather, not that I blame them. As the muffled sound of snow under tires rings out, a garbage truck rumbles by, very loudly. It's only after a worrying few seconds that I remember. I did indeed put the garbage out for collection yesterday. That's good to know. Reaching the campus, the welcome sight of a cafe nearby lifts my spirits. I've overheard students mention the coffee here is good, and it's conveniently right next to the campus. It looks homely enough from the outside, and only has a handful of people inside at this hour as I peer through the windows. With a quick brush of the fallen snow off my shoulders and bag, I take a breath and walk in. A bell above the door rings out as I enter, the smell of coffee on the air combining with the homely styling inside, making for an immediately cozy atmosphere. Joining the couple of people in line, I quickly rehearse the order in my mind to make sure I get it right. The barista's nice smile towards the other patrons keeps making me trip over myself, and I've never been great at dealing with strangers. Coming to the front of the line, I manage to blurt out my order of a latte with sugar before I can mess it up. She smiles and takes my payment, leaving me to wait to the side as it's prepared. I briefly consider having it here, given how relaxing the cafe is. The Oak Tree Cafe. Oh, that's before I notice Caprice, loudly chatting with the tall man sitting across from her. I'm surprised I didn't notice them. I must really be out of it. As the cute barista slides the coffee cup towards me, I decide I'd better leave the two in peace and drink outside. Where, you guessed it, Allison's gonna be. No. Oh, we're gonna talk with Caprice first. Before I can, Caprice catches sight of me and begins excitedly waving her hand in the air.
Allie! Hey, Allie! Over here! Allie!
Ignore her, walk away. You hear nothing? So much for that. Coffee in hand, I warily walk over to their table and look from one to the other.
Morning, Caprice.
Wallace.
Why does he look so fucking dead and sad? Is this the guy from Yick? Upon Caprice moving her backpack off a chair and placing it on the floor, I take a seat.
Allison here is a good friend and one of the founding members of the art club.
The new art club.
Is the guy from the old art club? This is Caprice's rodeo, so I'm content to let her deal with the club as she wants to at this point. It takes me a moment to realize she referred to me as a good friend in particular. We've only known each other for the couple months since the semester started, but I'm a little glad she thinks of me like that. No, you're right, Alex Yick is at it again. There he is, he's right there.
Hi, I am some guy Caprice found.
Alright, that's a good way to put it.
He's our fourth member.
Yeah, she just kind of found me and said I'm a part of the club now. I had no say in this. My name is Alex Yick. You can call me Wallace. It's basically the same thing. As he sighs forlornly, all I can offer is a stilted smile in response. Caprice looks so comfortable dealing with him that I assume they knew each other already. Come to think of it, Caprice has no problem dealing with Eileen either, despite barely knowing her. I'm impressed at how she could talk to strangers with just the same confidence as friends. Maybe she even considers him one already.
So what'd you get up to over the weekend, Allie?
Just housework and errands. It's surprising how much time I spend on that sort of thing now that I've moved out.
I get what you mean. Thankfully, I split the work with my roommates.
It's my roommate that makes me want to pick up the slack. Caprice looks to Wallace for his input, making him part of the conversation.
I look after the family gun shop on weekends. Nothing glamorous, but enough
Family
to get
gun
by
shop?
on.
Oh my god. From the gun shop? Caprice continues on chatting, mostly with him. Wally quickly nods along, adding a yeah or I see as needed. I get the distinct feeling he's being talked at more than being talked to. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Let me check something real quick. Give me a moment. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's continue. I just had to check a few things. There we go. Alright. Now that we're both sitting across from each other, I can fully appreciate how much of a bear this man is. Cutting more of a foreboding figure thanks to his beard. I can already feel myself shrinking in response. For want to not stare at him, I turn to the coffee steaming away before him. A flat black with the lid taken off to let it cool faster. I can taste how bitter it is just by looking at it. The conversation is suddenly interrupted by a phone going off. Apparently Caprice's, as her hand dives into the front pocket of her hoodie and retrieves it. Wallace and I just look at each other as she wanders off a few steps to take the call, unsure exactly what to do with ourselves. It only takes a few seconds before she returns.
Sorry, guys. Gotta go. Roommates need me.
Wait.
The snow is attacking. We have to help.
I'll see you two around. We've got much more to discuss.
With that, she grabs her backpack and skips out into the winter air without another word. Going by, I keep thinking that bell sound is about to be the Sword Art Online sound effect that we use for when somebody is raiding into us, because it sounds like it at first. Going by her face, I'm more worried I'm more worried about this than she is. Left alone with Wallace, I sip my coffee for something to do. Glancing in his direction, he looks more relieved than anything.
She means well.
I know she does.
Even if Eileen doesn't think so, I just have to keep telling myself that.
Wait, you know Eileen? And now I'm glad I didn't say that. Wait.
Even if Eileen doesn't
Okay. Much as I would like to leap to her defense, she is pushing this awfully hard. If he's trying to start the conversation, if he's trying to start conversation, I feel I should at least try to reciprocate rather than letting him twist in the wind.
So, you and Eileen know each other?
He gives a nod after taking a long sip of his coffee. That must be so awfully bitter.
We're friends. Met when she was a freshman in high school. Caprice saw us together and made the connection.
Oh.
She's filled me in on this club business. I'm going to guess you were pulled into it?
Yeah, technically.
Something like that. It kinda spiraled out of control. Sorry.
It's mostly just a girl who's your friend walking over to saying, you're part of my club now, and then walking away. Nobody is forcing you to actually go to the club. You don't have to do that. You could just walk away. You could just go home. Nothing stops you from just not going to the club room. Wallace simply shrugs.
Not the first time clubs have been pushy about scouting members. I was actually thinking the whole thing might be good for Eileen. Her single-mindedness is her best and worst trait, really. I don't want to say please put up with Eileen, but I'm having trouble working out a better way to word that. She isn't a bad person, just driven. I'm sure you know someone similar.
I do shudder what her reaction would be to being told she and Caprice are similar in any way. I'm still not sure about dealing with her, but it's hard to deny someone worried about their friend. Wallace seems content that he's managed to get his point across. Silence hanging in the air as he thoughtfully sips his coffee. It reminds me that I should drink my own before it gets too cold as well. The weather outside is a harsh contrast to the nice atmosphere in here, which might be why more students are starting to file in before classes start. Coffee is nice as well, so maybe I'll make this a regular spot. If I can afford to, that is. As for my companion, I think I'm starting to see him in a better way. He's just concerned about his friend. Maybe he's the gentle giant type, who isn't that threatening at all. With his cup empty as he sets it down, Wallace sits back to savor the last of its taste.
Well, I've said my piece. Caprice will probably give up on me, but you and Eileen are another matter.
Caprice is a good friend. I can handle her. It was nice meeting you, Wallace.
I carefully repeat his name to try and engrave it in my memory. I am no doubt I'd instantly forget it otherwise. He's perhaps overly hopeful when it comes to Caprice, though.
Thanks. You seem nice, so hopefully Eileen will ease off a bit.
I also helped get her drink back from the machine, so hopefully she'll like us for that. Well, hopefully. Oh, by the way, I did check and confirm that my mouth does in fact move in the Discord. Yeah, it does. Okay. I just realized I've been doing it this whole time, and I haven't actually stopped to check to make sure that my Discord Fugi moves. Because if I was muted on Discord, then it would not move. But we're good. We're good. Okay. He levers himself off the chair with a grunt, taking a glance outside before grabbing his scarf and hat once more.
Good luck with class.
Thanks. You too.
With that, he leaves the cafe while sliding past someone coming in, staggering through the terrible weather outside as he goes. With my next class so soon, I'd better finish this coffee off quickly. With that in mind, I concentrate on taking as big gulps as I can without looking unsightly. It's funny how one thing leads to another, though. It feels like a snowball's begun to start rolling, meeting new and interesting people since I started here. It might have taken a couple months, but maybe I will manage to find some new friends. Here we go. Next scene. With the weather... What's wrong with me? With the weather turning worse and worse as the week went on, the library seemed as good a place as any to spend some time before having lunch. Unfortunately, it looks like I wasn't the only one who had that idea. While the library here is bigger than my previous schools, that doesn't matter much when a large portion of the students are dumped inside. While my first choice would have been using one of the computers, that's obviously out of the question. Worried about looking like a dork as I loiter.
Water. It's time to drink water.
You said water because you were thinking about water? Okay, I see. Of course. I'll take a sip. Worried about looking like a dork as I loiter about, I start walking slowly through the library. Having fun isn't hard if you've got a library card. Thankfully, nobody pays me much attention while I glance from side to side for an empty table or desk. The students who are... Okay, we need to... I need to speak with the writers for this. Who decided to combine who and are like that? Who did this? Who did this? I know it's probably a real thing. I know it's probably accurate. I need to know. I did not... There's an apostrophe there. It saves it, but I just... is this just a thing I'm now noticing now? I'm just trying to think the last time I ever noticed somebody type or like maybe I've noticed people say it, but we're not saying this. This is our internal monologue of this. God invented whoer. I don't think he did that. Like, I know it's probably real. I know it probably exists. I know it's probably acceptable, but like I just wanted to stop for a moment with that because this seems like something that you would use for like speech if like someone was talking with like an accent or something like that. But this is internal. Whatever, it's fine. The students who are actually studying seem to be outnumbered by those gossiping with friends or catching up on sleep. Problem is that you can't accept it. Yeah, I can't accept it because it sounds like we're just calling the students a whore, which seems fucked up to do. That's what I'm saying. It's only in a fair corner of the room that I catch a familiar face, albeit not necessarily a welcome one. Oh, there she is. Eileen sits hunched over a thick textbook, occasionally scribbling into a small notebook beside it as her finger stops every so often on one important part or another. It's hard to tell if she's annoyed or just studying hard. Counter argument. That's very funny. Oh, alright. Well, I didn't factor in the comedy aspect of it. My bad. I consider leaving Eileen to her studying and braving the weather outside before she rubs her temple and looks down mournfully at her notebook. That pose is all too familiar for any student. I feel a little bad for her, given the vending machine problems and how she wound up with Caprice stuck to her. She doesn't seem to have very good luck. She might not be the friendliest person, but if I can help her a bit... Well, we're zooming in. With Wallace's words weighing on my mind, I grimace and accept my fate as I begin walking to the otherwise empty table. She looks up and catches my eye as I come near. So I guess I'm committed to this now.
Afternoon.
My existence has been noted. I don't think that I could sound any more perfunctory, but at least she isn't shooing me away. Setting my bag beside my chair as I take a seat, I pull out my phone to check for any missed messages and switch it to silent before placing it on the table before me.
Hey.
Hi. Surprised you're not in the art room. I don't live there, you know. Wouldn't it be more private than here, though? She lets out a long, miserable groan as her head sinks. Hardly difficult to work out what that means. Caprice wouldn't stop bugging me to join her drawing for some stupid theme. What was it? I wasn't really listening. Christmas scenes or something. She's barely even listening to me as she tries to wave me off. Caprice is probably scurrying around campus as we speak, hoping for me to join her as a drawing partner. What are you studying? Math. It's been kicking my ass. So I need to get my head around it for these stupid Gen Ed classes. Eileen barely lifts her head from the notebook as she speaks, looking over the table at her work. Various practice equations cover the notebook's page. I have to admit, I do admire Eileen's drive. I was just going to pass some time in the library reading, but seeing her working away has made me feel a little guilty. You any good at this stuff? Math? Well, I ended up skipping the Gen Ed class thanks to my placement exam results. Someone spent their time studying like a good little teacher's pet. Nothing like that. Math and science are easy enough, so I ended up coasting along. I need to learn how to study now that I'm here. Eileen's eyes narrow. Maybe she wasn't exaggerating about her skills. After having such an easy time in high school, it's easy to forget I'm the odd one out here. Of course, I put my foot in my mouth just as I was starting to break the ice with her.
Huh?
I mean, if you want, I could have a look at your work. She's hardly enthusiastic, but shrugs and moves herself a little out of the way. My curiosity's gotten the better of me. Coming around the table and looking at the notebook from behind her, I take a gander at her notes so far. At least this is easy to read, given her immaculate handwriting. The more I check over her notes, though, the more the corners of my mouth drag down. She's done a good job of showing her process in the first couple of questions, covering expressions look right at a... What? Hold on. She's done a good job of showing her process, and a couple of the questions covering expressions look right at a glance. When it comes to polynomials, however, the next two have odd leaps of logic, while the last meanders off into the wilderness. I realize I should say something to express how she's done so far, but the window of time to say something even mildly positive to soften the blow has long since passed. How's it going, Thracices? I hope you're doing well. So it's like that, huh? You got some of it right. That didn't help. Polynomials do seem to trip a lot of people up. So she isn't catastrophically bad at this. Still, considering the first semester of Gen Ed subjects is mostly reviewing what we did in high school, this isn't a promising start. I'd love that that's supposedly easy to read. It's super easy to read. If you have trouble reading this, oh no, we gotta get you to the eye doctor. This is a world telling me I need glasses. True! Mind if I scribble on this a bit?
Sure.
Knock yourself out. I reach over to grab my pen from the other side of the table before hunching over her book and jotting down a couple of notes. First up are a few pointers to where the first two polynomials went awry, before taking a parallel crack at the worst of them. Pausing for a moment halfway to check the logic of what I'm doing, I'm satisfied I'm on the right track as I finish off. The result looks about right. Uh-oh, yeah, we got the red pen out here. Should have seen the optometrist while I had the chance. Yeah, there you go. Surely he'll help you. He'll save you. Eileen flips over the textbook page on cue to check my answer, looking a little dubious as she does so. Vindicated by the magic result, I feel a good bit of relief at not making a fool of myself in front of her. At least one of us has a head on this stuff, or has a head for this stuff. Does it make more sense to you now? She takes a thorough look at my scribbles on her notebook, eyebrows furrowed as she tries to pick up the reasoning. I can't help but glance between my notes and Eileen as she looks over them. If she didn't project an aura of wanting to be left alone all the time, just her looks and her style would probably attract people. I think so. You don't sound too sure. This is about as confident as I get, as I ever get. This is about as confident as I ever get with math. So don't worry, I'll have to repay you sometime. Taking that as confirmation that my job is done, I return to my seat as Eileen leans back in her chair. It's nothing really. You should ask your professor. You should ask your professor though. If you're not confident doing polynomials, needing to ask them doesn't mean that I want to. Given how frank she is, I guess this must be a matter of pride rather than shyness. Maybe that's where her stubbornness comes from. Why are you wasting your time here with me anyway? Don't you have some friends to do some friend things with? I only really know you and Caprice. Met Wallace the other day, actually. So that brat was trying to drag him into the club too? Wallace may think it might be a good experience for her, but Eileen's disdain for Caprice is going to be hard to overcome. Hearing my phone vibrating on the table, I quickly pick it up to see who's messaged me. I quickly force myself to keep a poker face as the name comes into view. She must have given up on art out of loneliness if Eileen's avoiding her, and I'm here. I'm not terribly hungry, but I should probably get at least a sandwich or something from the cafeteria before class begins. Hey, want to grab something at the cafeteria? Oh, I see. If she weren't so unapproachable, maybe she'd be approached. Yeah, you know, logically speaking, that is true. Quickly typing in an agreement to meet there, I lock the phone once more.
Hey.
I might go grab lunch. Want to come? I find it very interesting that Allison will have contractions like who and are to who're, and we'll do other little things like that to like shorten our sentence and make it try and sound like more natural to like what a person with an accent might say. And then we'll say want to come instead of wanna come. I found that very interesting that we did that. I'm just saying, just little details. Not a huge deal, just little details. Sorry, I already ate. Thanks for the offer, though. She's already back to concentrating on her notebook as she mumbles the reply. It's probably for the best anyway. Giving a quiet farewell, I grab my bag and put my phone back inside. As I pull it over my bag, though, Eileen looks up. By the way, I don't blame you for any of the stuff Caprice is pushing. You seem alright. So I'm alright. Perhaps I should accept that as praise coming from her. Glad for our meeting having been somewhat successful, I wave goodbye and head out towards the cafeteria. The cafeteria is a little less full than the library. The stocks of food behind the counter already running low on all the usual student favorites. With the line for food moving quickly, I managed to grab the last set of sandwiches and move on. Scanning about, I noticed Caprice sipping her juice. An empty tray before her. She sure eats fast. Glad for company either way, I walk over and take a seat at her table.
Hi!
Hey, Allie! Long time no see! We saw each other yesterday. How's everything going? How are your classes? Not too bad. It's all familiar enough right now. Not that everyone's doing as well as I am. As I unpack my sandwich and begin to nibble, my thoughts turn to the woman in the library. I feel a little sorry for her. Eileen's struggle reminding me that I have it easier than some at times. Then there's the matter of her and the art club. Setting my food back down, I decide to tackle this more directly than usual. If Eileen can be so direct with others, then so can I. I was thinking, you meant for me to meet Eileen last week, didn't you? She's fun, isn't she? Something like that. That painting of the girl in the water was really pretty.
Yeah.
She's really good, huh? No wonder the other art club tried to grab her. About that, well, more about Eileen. I'm not sure it's a good idea to be forcing people into this club. I know you're excited to get things started, but just because her art's good doesn't mean she wants to be in a club.
Ollie.
You sound like you're not really into it yourself. She's sharper than I give her credit for. Caught off guard, I have to stop and think as she sips at the last of her juice. The sucking sound as she makes sure to get every last drop doesn't help. I can't say I'm enthusiastic about this. Eileen's studying is exactly what I need to be doing, lest I waste my scholarship. On the other hand, Caprice is my only friend right now, and I do enjoy spending time with her. As she puts down her drink with a satisfied breath, I know my answer. I can make time for it. She gives a comical big sigh, missing my hesitation entirely. If this ends up only being between a couple of us, maybe it won't be too bad. Long as it's not a whole bunch of people getting involved. I want to do this for her sake as well, you know. Eileen looks kind of lonely all by herself in that room. Huh. I hadn't considered that Caprice was coming at it from that angle. It makes me think a little better of her. What she says makes me reconsider Eileen's actions in another light as well. I wonder how much of her reluctance around this club isn't due to Caprice herself, but rather her feeling used by the other club for her art. Seeing that kind of talent makes you kind of envious though, right? Well, I just drew a bit in high school for fun. I don't think I could ever manage something beautiful like that. We keep chatting, but Caprice's earlier words stick firmly in my mind. We may meet every school day and talk quite a lot. At least she does. But I realize just how little I really know her in spite of that. Maybe spending more time together wouldn't be so bad after all. With time on my hands thanks to the last class of the week finally being over, some quiet sketching would be a nice way to unwind. With that in mind, I make my way up to the art room. It's art time. Studying would be the proper thing to do, but I'm just too burnt out. I'm too burned out, not burnt out. Burned out. Not that this stubborn cold helps either. Wait, is this grammatically correct? Because I know there's burnout, but burned out? Burned or burnt? Are both valid? Both are valid, right? Burned and burnt are correct past tense particles. Okay, both are correct. Burnt is more of quality of state of being, whereas burned refers to an action in the past. Okay. But we're talking about her current state, so I guess it should more be burnt, but I guess technically it's valid. We're trying to actually this, but I'm just more curious about this, but whatever. But I'm just too burnt out. Not that this stubborn cold helps either. While most classes are winding down, their professors are aware that the looming holidays are a big distraction. Others have tried ramping up the workload to try and cover everything in the semester plan. I might be keeping up, but plenty aren't. With my bag tucked under my arm, I give a sigh as I stagger along the snowy path to the arts building. It would be nice to feel like I'm doing more than than treading water in class and socially. Stepping into the arts building, with its strung-up decorations, reminds me to look on the bright side. It's already the middle of November, so it's not too long. It's not long until Christmas, just a week away, and being back with my family. I'll be thankful to be back with them, even if the rest of the holiday period is a wash. I managed to angle around a chatting group of friends blocking the hallway and start up the stairs without bothering them. Another small success. I briefly wonder if Eileen's in the art room as I proceed along the second floor hallway. Her paintings are always nice to see, but whether she thinks of me as just another pain like she views Caprice weighs on my mind. Well, there she is. Opening the door to the quiet room, I can't say I'm surprised at the sight before me. Of course she was going to be here. Eileen's eyes glance over as I gingerly shut the door behind me, ending up being the only acknowledgement of my presence at all before she goes right back to her work. Curiosity about what she's painting gets the better of me.
Hey.
Is it okay if I watch?
Sure.
Go ahead. She doesn't bother to look at me as she says it, but doesn't sound reluctant either. So I scoot over and sit myself on a table as quietly as I can. Eileen's brush continues to flick to and fro as she works on the background. So, Caprice is a no-show. She said she had to go do something with her roommates. Her shoulders slump as she sighs, relieved. Do you really hate her that much? Believe me, if I hated her, you'd know. I'm just glad to have some quiet. It's hard to not take that as a thinly veiled implication that I should be as quiet as well. Wallace might not be wrong that Eileen means well, but that doesn't make her any easier to talk to. Something on your mind? You're really good at this. It'd feel weird to say that I've been talking about Eileen behind her back. What I said is true, though. I'm impressed she can carry on a conversation while working, and I like how her painting's turning out.
Thanks.
Thanks. Been doing it for a while. As a hobby? If everything works out, hopefully, as a career. Artist or teacher, aiming for the latter. That does explain her persistence at working to get a way to get better. Wanting to be a teacher, though, she gives the feeling of a drill sergeant more than an art tutor. Tubes out. Eileen gets up and places her supplies on the sill beside her, opening the cupboard and fiddling around a bit. Before long, she emerges with a new tube of crimson paint in hand. Rather than get back to painting after closing the door, though, she instead turns to me. So, what about you?
Huh?
Huh? Sorry? What are you doing once you escape this place? I don't know really. I'm still trying to figure that out. I feel like I failed a test as I trail off, but Eileen doesn't seem worried. You're still young, and there's a good few courses to look into here. Just try your hand at whatever comes up until something grabs you. There are plenty of worse ways to spend your time in college. You're smart too, so you have that going for you. I awkwardly smile at the praise. I've never been good at knowing how to handle compliments. She may say that, but the fact Eileen's so set on a career, yet only seems to be around my age, rubs in my lack of direction. I'm still patting myself on the back for managing groceries. My parents always told me I could do better. I'm sorry, I read that completely wrong. My parents always told me I could do whatever I set my mind to, but it was so easy to tread water for me that I never bothered trying to swim. Sounds like you have a nice family. I moved to respond. The memory of them gives... Wait, was the last one her out loud? Oh, it was her out loud. Okay. I didn't know if that was dialogue. I moved to respond. The memory of them gives me the familiar pang of homesickness all over again. I might have found time to call Mom yesterday, but it isn't just the same. But it just isn't the same. You okay? Yeah, I miss them. Well, everyone here's going through the same thing. You as well? I miss my sister, yeah. She's probably fine, but that doesn't make it easier. Mom and Dad, too? To be honest, things have been easier between me and my folks since I moved out. Huh? It's hard to imagine being on such bad terms with my family that moving away was better. The best thing about Christmas will be the chance to see them again, but Eileen doesn't seem particularly fussed about it at all. Leaving me to ponder, Eileen goes back to her painting. I get the feeling she wouldn't be this gracious to Caprice, though she seems to think a little better of me at least. She's lent me an ear.
Not boring you, am I?
No, not at all. I like watching you paint.
This is a nice CG. I like this CG. Can I how do I... What do the keybinds say for hiding the... I think you as H. Okay. Or middle mouse button. Okay, there you go. Look at that. That's nice. I like it.
No.
She paused a moment before continuing. It's only for a second, but I sense a hesitation there. Did I say something wrong? The moment passes as soon as it arrived. Eileen's brush returning to the canvas. The other students appear to have left by now. There was other students in here? Or are we just talking about the noise outside, I guess? The orange-stained room silent save for her work. The building's just a little cold, but that's fine. As the minutes roll by, I end up watching her for a while as I swing my legs. I almost forgot I came here to actually draw, but that doesn't matter. Watching her painting slow progress is more than enough. Every so often, she mixes up a dab of this paint and that on the wooden palette beside her. The side of a hip is traced out, the light bouncing off a waist shaded, or a flowing strand of hair detailed with the fine tip. I can't help but admire her ability to set a goal and stay true to it, knowing exactly what she's working towards at this stage of her life. If only I had an ounce of the ambition Eileen has.
I might go to a cafe nearby to grab a coffee. I'll be back in a bit.
Tired?
Yeah. Sorry to distract you from your work.
Glad for the company. Have fun.
With that, I hop off the table and start towards the door.
Oh, wait.
Her voice stops me in my tracks, just as I'm about to go. It'd be great if she decided to come as well.
Could you grab me a coffee too? Espresso, straight. I'll give you some cash when you come back.
Sure. So much for that. Wait, what did I miss?
Oh, glad for the company.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be great if she decided to come with me as well. Okay, that's what I
Could you
missed.
grab
Okay.
me a coffee too?
I'm reading these things out loud, but sometimes I don't actually retain some of the information. Okay, listen. I can read, I swear. I'm going to take a sip of water. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. All right. Cool. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Chill. Chill. So many notifications happening all at once. Alright. Back to this. Back to gaming. Okay. The cafeteria hums away as students talk amongst themselves, the room having mostly filled up by now. The thought briefly passes my mind that winter. The thought briefly passes my mind that winter must be great for business, even this being the closest place for cheap food during bad weather. Some smears on the edges of the plate are all that remains of the mostly cooked pasta served today. What's left of my accompanying soda bubbling away while I pass some time browsing this site and that. Look, she's on Twitter. Get it? Did you get it? Was that a good joke? Was that a good joke to say? Oh, this is not a. Okay, this is part of. Okay, I can't hide the text box and show that. Okay, she's on Twitter. Did you get it? Did you get -1? That's not how math works. As I read, a shadow suddenly looms over the other side of the table. Looking up from my phone reveals a very familiar figure. Eileen peers down as she stands on the opposite side of the table, a large plate of food steaming away in her hand. The fresh pasta sauce is strong enough to smell from here. Okay to sit here?
Hi.
Sure. We're so in, gamers. We're so in. I quickly set my phone down as she takes a seat and arranges her tray on the table, happy that she'd choose to sit with me. A glance around to see if anyone's with her makes me realize why she probably chose to sit here. The cafeteria is practically full, and this is simply the nearest table with space available. About to take her first gulp of food, Eileen's fork halts midair before saying something. Cold any better? Yeah, clearing up now. Good to hear. With that, she starts on her pasta and salad. As I take my phone to browse some more, Eileen calmly eats the average at best cafeteria food. It feels as though there's no need to chat just to feel the air. That silence between us is becoming more comfortable. That is, before I get a message. Flicking away the browser app, I take a quick look. I can't make dinner, work sucks. Oh, alright. You were getting groceries yesterday, right? Anything in the fridge? Seconds tick by as I wait for a response, a sense of concern starting to take over. There's nothing in the fridge. You gotta figure this shit out. Rose? Rose? Sorry. Rose? Work needs me. See you later. All I can do is sigh and slump down in my seat as I lay my phone on the table. Eileen looks at me in puzzlement, her fork hovering near her mouth.
Huh?
Bad news? Roommate forgot to do groceries. We're out of food. Can't you just go grab a burger on the way home? That would be the plan if I wasn't nearly through my allowance. I just look away and groan, not up to outright saying that I'm broke. It's that bad, huh? At first glance, she shrugs off as she goes back to eating, but she seems to actually be in thought after watching her a bit. Eventually, after finishing her food, she speaks up. I guess I was cooking some extra. Anyway, we're so in? Excuse me? You can come over for dinner if you want. It's within walking distance. The suggestion's enough to make me bolt upright in an instant. What? To your place? Yeah, should be fine, right? You okay with stir fry?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Sure, whatever. Just don't make it weird. Considering the discussion over, Eileen goes back to finishing off her food without much concern for what she's just said. Maybe she does have a good side. Stopping before the large black door, I repeat the address Eileen gave me to reassure myself I've come to the right place. Eileen's definition of walkable is apparently rather different than mine, still catching my breath from the hike. I thought I was going to be fine, but my nerves are getting the better of me now that I'm here. I'm going into a near stranger's home, after all, and it'll just be the two of us. In school, we just happen to be around each other, but this is entirely different. Glancing down the hall to make sure nobody's watching me awkwardly loiter around, I take a moment to appreciate how nice her apartment building is. This is a nice area, and everything inside is immaculate. Even the hallway carries a slight scent of cleaning products. Out of excuses to stall any longer, I take a breath and gingerly press the doorbell, its muffled chime ringing out from behind the door. I run my hands through my hair one more time to make sure I look presentable as footsteps come to the door. The plain wooden door swings open, answered by... not Eileen.
Hey.
Oh, evening. Before I can ask if I got the right apartment, he turns around. Allison's here. Wallace jerks his head around for me to follow. I obediently do so, still too confused to get a word out. Eileen didn't mention he would be here. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe I should be relieved it's not just the two of us? Barely noticing the thud of the door closing behind me, I take a quick glance around her apartment as I place my coat on the counter. The first striking thing is how clean it is, with everything put neatly in its place. God damn. God damn, this place. And we got some sick art on the walls, too. What the hell? Then again, aside from a few paintings on the walls that are possibly her own, there's not much clutter around to clean up. The television, quite a decent size for a student, sits on a cable news channel. Riveting as the economic situation report is, it's barely audible over the clacking rice cooker coming from the kitchen. As Wallace and I stride in, Eileen comes to her feet after having been on the couch. She lazily covers a deep yawn with her hand as she does.
Hi?
Hi? So, you managed to find the place. Welcome to my home, I guess. I'd introduce you to this guy as well, but it seems you two already know each other. Wallace and I exchange a brief glance. Yeah, I know Yick. I know Alex Yick. I know him. Just had a coffee together once. While I did find his size intimidating at first, he seems a bit of a gentle giant figure now that I'm around him more. Looks like this isn't going to be dinner just for me and Eileen then. Taking one last glance about, the inside of her place is as nice as the outside, from the meticulous cleanliness to the trendy furniture. Her home looks more suited to a design magazine than a student's living area. Your apartment's really nice.
Thanks.
Thanks. I like to try and keep things organized.
Yeah.
Especially when visitors are over. Eileen glares daggers at Wallace, but he doesn't pay any heed. The two seem to have a good handle on each other. Moving on, Wallace, just watch TV or something while we get dinner sorted. Can do. Thanks again for having me, for letting me have dinner with you. Don't get too comfortable. I'm going to make you work for your food. Eileen motioned for me to come over with her, but the gesture was unnecessary given how her commanding tone. Wallace gives a dreary glance as he follows his orders, and I quickly do the same. I end up standing before a well-used wooden cutting board, taking the large knife Eileen offers before sizing up the variety of vegetables awaiting its blade. I don't think she notices my hesitation as she opens the rice cooker and gives the contents a stir. The two of us waste little time in getting to work, the sound of food being prepped filling the room. Unfortunately, it isn't long before I've earned Eileen's ire.
No.
Stop! My heart practically leaps out of my chest as I immediately freeze, hands retreating from the cutting board. Did I hand you Did I hand you a hatchet? No. And why are you using it like one? Looks like you're trying to lop off some fingers. In response to my puzzled look, she takes the knife off me and starts demonstrating the correct technique herself. Thought you'd be more help than him in fixing this up. Look, curl your hand in next to where you want to cut, like this. I use the knife like a lever instead of wildly hacking away. We're making nice, slow slices, not some slasher B-movie scene.
Okay.
Right, I think I have it. Eileen hands the knife back after a breath to steady myself. I have another try. I just realized I'm going to switch the scene to winter and see what that looks like. It didn't look like things changed. Is this supposed to be like the theme for what? It's just this theme. I'll set it to winter. I don't think anything changed with this though. She soon starts frowning as I slice away, but at least she's not yelling at me again. Look at this face. I'm guessing you don't cook for yourself? Her eyes rest on the collection of lopsided shapes sitting before me. I'm lucky if I don't mess up instant noodles.
Huh?
What? I thought those were impossible to get wrong. I'm genuinely impressed. You do all your own cooking? Not like I have anything else, anyone else to cook for me. Healthier than living off pizza and burgers, too. What about Wallace? Aren't you roommates? No, he just loafs around here sometimes. I've tried to get him to help, but he's no better than you are. I'm always feeding him and letting him crash on my couch. He even bugs me for free pictures for his writing. What? Hold on. He lives around here sometimes, so he doesn't live here. Tried to get him to help, but he's no better than you are. I'm always feeding him and letting him crash on my couch. Bugs me for free pictures for his writing. Okay, he's just like, you could be my illustrator, right? For free? Why not? She sets down her knife in genuine, if depressing, thought. Maybe we should just become roommates. I think I'm starting to get a handle on their relationship now. As strange a pair as they might seem, the stern and uncompromising Eileen and gentle giant Wallace seem like they're a compatible couple. I'm surprised you're not. I thought you might be together. Nope, just friends. So much for that. She waves away the idea so easily that it must have come up before. In fact, back at the cafe, Wallace seemed quick to clarify that too. Wallace's voice pipes up from behind us.
You know, it's not often Eileen invites someone else over for dinner.
I don't invite anyone over for dinner. You just show up most of the time.
Get out of my house, Alex Yick. I didn't invite you, Alex Yick. Get the hell out. What are you doing here? What?
Including now, actually. I've had to put up with him like this since high school. I guess no one else would.
Objection! I'm the one who puts up with you.
Oh my god, it's Saul Goodman.
I'm the one currently holding a knife.
Oh shit, kill him.
Objection withdrawn.
Okay, I don't think you could do that in a court of law, but sure, we'll go with it. With that, he goes back to quietly watching television. I'm starting to get how Eileen deals with others in general now. She usually threatens them with a knife. She simply has no filter when it comes to stating what she believes to be true. That could be a problem just as much as shyness, though. Thinking back to when we met, the only reason I didn't write the episode with her off is Caprice and Wallace nudging me afterwards. But here she is, looking after her friend and providing me with a meal. It took a while, but I'm glad I met her in the end. Perhaps that's why it's a little worrisome that she lives alone like this. You normally do all this without anyone to help? You don't need to say that like it's a bad thing. There's all sorts in the world. Some are better without people than others. Living alone suits me, and I can afford it. You know Caprice, though, don't you? So you're not completely alone besides Wallace. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Tell me, how did you and Caprice meet? We were sitting at the same table for a biology lecture, and she started passing me notes during class out of the blue. Once we started talking afterwards, she didn't really stop. Ah. That's the way it goes with her. Once you get caught in her orbit, she doesn't let you go. Caprice isn't that bad. She's a sweet person, just high energy. She gives a non-committal grunt before getting on with her cooking. I do wish she'd give her a chance. Caprice does only mean the best for her. Moving away from that, could you grab the plates and glasses? These shouldn't take long to fry. Oh, Alex Yick is peeking over. Root beer, please.
No.
Water is healthier. It's time to drink water. She said it. She said it herself. She said it's time to drink water.
Allison.
Allison, please save me from this
It's
woman.
time to drink water.
It's time to drink water, Alex Yick. All I can do is give a weak smile. Much as I'd like to give him what he asked for, following Eileen's orders would probably be for the best. With all of us well and truly full, we sit around the table and savor the meal we've had. It was the best food I've had in a while, since it was neither takeout nor cooked by Rose. Drink milk. This post was paid for by the USDA Federal Dairy Commission. True! Having sent a text message to her friend for a pickup, all that's left is to run down the clock as the evening wears on. Looking around the apartment, I point to one of the buildings? I point to one of the paintings on the wall. Was that BB no dollar sign? Wait, what? What is what you just typed? What is BB no dollar sign? What is? I'm trying to decipher what that could possibly be. Also, wait, what happened here? Baby No Money, he's a rapper? Wait. Wait, what is supposed to be Baby No Money? The It's Time to Drink Water redeem? Or are you talking about Alex Yick? Or who's Baby No Water? Hold on. Or not water. Baby No Money. I've never heard of this guy before. Oh my god. I'm looking at a picture of him though. I see it. I see it. No, I see it. Yeah, I see it. Hold on, wait.
Allison.
Can I get this on here? Is it this one? Hold on. I see it. I see it. I see it. Wait, where's Alex Yick? Hold on, Alex Yick. Here you go. Here's Alex Yick as well. I'm just saying. Baby No Money's name is also Alex. Maybe the guy from Yick is inspired by Baby No Money. We've cracked the code, gamers. We've done it. All right, let's get back to this. Let's make some progress here. I wonder how far we made it, actually. Hold on. If I save the game, might take us back to main menu. Extra. Oh yeah, we're about to finish Act 1. And then there's Act 2. All right, so there's 3 acts. And Act 1 basically is about to take us like an hour and a half to finish. Because it took us like an hour to start, pretty much. So, it'll be a pretty short game, I think.
Allison.
With all of us well and truly full, We sit around the table and savor the meal we've had. It was the best food I've had in a while, since it was neither takeout nor cooked by Rose. Damn. Having sent a text message to her for a pickup, all that's left is to run down the clock as the evening wears on. Looking around the apartment, I point to one of the paintings on the wall. Did you paint all of these? Yeah. I really need to find something else to put up there, though.
Huh?
But why? They're really good. I appreciate the thought. All of them have dumb little mistakes, though. Just needed something to make the walls less bare when I moved in. Never got around to replacing them. You like painting people in particular, don't you? It's like portraits and figures. Modern art's all well and good, but I started with figure drawing and ended up attached to it. Bodies are pretty fascinating when you think about them. Really think about them, that is. I've spent days just sitting there sketching, trying to work out how the muscles fit together, how lighting interacts with skin, and all that. The way she rattles off her thoughts with such feeling gives away how much she cares about the subject. I can't say I'd take it quite as seriously as she does, but I can see where she's coming from. Interested in this stuff, Allison? Me? I just drew a little in high school. Passing the time, that kind of thing. Nothing wrong with that. I sketch on my tablet, and Eileen gives pointers sometimes. Maybe I should throw you to the wolves and tell Caprice you like doing art as well. Well, he's already forcing the club anyways, right? Artists only see the flaws in their own work. It's tragic. It's true. It's very sad. You wouldn't. I'm thinking about it. I can't help but giggle a bit at the two of them. And even as they do, there is a small pang of envy there. I can empathize with Eileen, keeping her group of friends small, but I do wish I were closer to her. In more ways than one, she's who I wish I could be. The familiar sound of motorbike's horn can be faintly heard from the outside, bringing an end to both my thoughts and this little outing. That for you? Giving a nod, I get up from my car and collect my coat from Eileen's helpful hand, quickly throwing it over myself.
Thank you.
Thanks for tonight, it was nice. Not wanting to keep Rose waiting, I wave Alice goodbye as I take my leave, with Eileen coming along to see me out at the door. Got everything with you? I quickly pat around my pockets to make sure. Phone, purse, keys, they all seem to be there. All good.
I'll see you then. If you want to come around again, feel free.
Alright, I'll just start crashing at your place like Wallace does.
If I'm not too much trouble, that'd be nice.
I do a poor job of hiding my happiness at the offer. My reply just a little too quick to sound natural.
Believe me, you're no trouble. It honestly does me good to see you a bit more upbeat.
Oh my god, we're so in, gamers? We're so fucking in? I tilt my head a little at the odd idea.
You just seemed kind of skittish before, but now you're all sunshine and rainbows. It suits you.
She's smiling! Look at the smile! We're so fucking in, gamers! Let's fucking go!
Sorry. I'm a bit shy.
Not to mention a bit homesick. Being able to talk with friends outside of school was a nice change, not to mention having a homemade meal. Even if I didn't help that much, it did take my mind off things. Eventually, as my mind slowly manages to get back into gear, I muster the words to say what I want to tell her as I get past being so flustered.
If you don't mind me being around for dinner, maybe being together in a club wouldn't be so bad.
She hesitates for a good few moments, make me doubt myself as I offer the suggestion as carefully as possible. She knows I like her as a person, so hopefully she can look past her previous experiences. Just as I begin to think I've overstepped the mark, she gives an almost comically long sigh. The horn sounds again in the distance as silence reigns, but my feet stay plastered as she comes to an answer.
Fine. Tell Caprice she can have her dumb club.
Leapy! Let's go!
Thank you.
Just don't make me regret it.
Oh, we will. With an enthusiastic nod and wave, I start off down the hallway once more, Eileen disappearing into her apartment as I look back. Even as I walk down the hallway, my steps somehow feel lighter than they did as I enter. Being around others usually makes me exhausted, But right now, I feel more comfortable than ever. This is probably the last scene of Act 1.
Wallace!
It's great to see you again. How's it going?
No.
I'm not joining this club thing, if that's what you're thinking.
Come on!
What? What? Word on the street was that pizza was involved. Besides, I don't think I can deal with the both of you without some backup. I'm not that much trouble, am I? Remind me who persuaded me into agreeing to this again. She's got a point. You're the last person who should be agreeing with her. Smiling and sitting back in the old wooden chair, I take a look about the noisy room. Everyone inside must be thankful for the heat being turned up, the weather outside having been freezing before we entered. There's a certain charm to the restaurant given its exposed, aging brick walls and wooden furniture, however hard it may be. Walter, put your club away, Walter. I'm not doing art right now, Walter. Put the timer away, put the brushes, no paint, Walter. It's not happening here. It takes a bit of speaking up for us to hear each other over the busily chatting couples and groups around us, but like Dad said, the more people at a restaurant, the better the food will be. I notice Eileen eyeing Wallace's beer in an unsubtle manner, the large glass perspiring away like in a commercial. I'd taken his apparent age as just his beard, making him look older, but I guess he really does have a few years on us. Man, I miss beer. It'd go so well with this. Here I was thinking you were far too uptight to do something like underage drinking. Remember the trip to Europe me and my family took last year? You think I just drank soda over there? Well...
Seriously?
I was in Munich, Wallace. I mean, really? Caprice and I can only smile at her little lecture. Don't be sad, Eileen. It's only a couple more years. Then you can drink all you want. The look of pure and unrelenting disdain Eileen gives her at being reminded of the wait goes gleefully ignored, which is probably for the best. Our chatter is interrupted by the arrival of a waiter, a weedy young man clad in a plain red and black uniform. It's impressive how well he maneuvers all our pizzas and sides onto the table. Let's go, mamma mia. All our mouths watering as they steam away. It's time for pizza. It's pizza time. Where's the sides? Where's the moss sticks? Where's the moss sticks? I want my moss sticks now. With a curt, please enjoy, he leaves us to our feast. Damn, they're really fast here.
Exactly.
Best pizza place in the city. How many of you actually tried? Doesn't matter, since I've already tried this place. You know what? True. Based. She says, busily shoving a slice of pizza into her mouth. Eileen starts on hers, but mine catches the eye of Wallace.
Huh?
Vegetarian? You're not a leaf eater, are you? He says with a genuine concern in his voice. I just like the taste. The answer satisfies him as he goes to work on his own. The fact it's a meat lover's pizza is less than surprising. Think you can take the wallet hit for tonight?
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. Still sad how obviously she's trying to convince herself of the fact. The only reason I'm not having a quick check myself is because I budgeted the trip days in advance, and even Wallace looks like he's doubting himself a little. Life is such a struggle. Such is life of a struggling college student. Leaf eater? Yeah, I call her a leaf eater. Vegetarian is tasty at times. I usually get the vegetarian breakfast pizza at Casey's more than not. I mean, I'm just basic. I'll get like meat and cheese on my pizzas. I like the pepperonis. I like the meat lovers. I like the extra cheesy. I don't get too crazy with my pizza. I do prefer calzones a lot as well. Calzones are great. I like calzones. Have steak and cheese calzones and pepperoni calzones sometimes. I tried. There's this place that we order from at game night. I ordered. They have mac and cheese pizza, which I tried. It was fucking good. I didn't get it again in the future. I don't know why. Maybe next time I order there, I should get it again. Need to eat more calzones. Calzones are good. Calzones are very good. Such is the life of a struggling college student. Sure is. I really need to get a job. Don't have one either? I'm planning to get one. And when will you?
Huh?
Soon. Eileen just grimaces. She got me. You got me, Hank. I had an Asian fusion pizza once. It was tasty. Oh, okay. I was working at the store, Wallace. Not exactly riveting, but it's a living. As I turn to Eileen, she just shrugs as she pulls out another slice. Wait. How's it working at the store? Huh? What store? Isn't he also supposed to be a writer? What does he do? Not exactly riveting, but it's a living. As I turn to Eileen, she just shrugs as she pulls out another slice. No job, and no excuse like studying. Guess I'm a slacker like Caprice. Given her apartment, it's a surprise that she could afford to live in that area and pay her tuition at the same time. I have to admit, I'm envious of how she seems to have her life together. I've never met someone so independent, yet doing such a good job at it. The soup store, is that where he works? Where you buy clothes? Is that where he bought? Is that where he bought his clothes? At the soup store? That he works at? You got a discount? Wallace momentarily bringing up his phone to check the time spurs Caprice into action. Her twisting about in her seat and fussing around with her coat draped over the back takes everyone's attention.
Caprice.
She finally rights herself after a few moments, her own phone proudly in hand. Let's exchange phone numbers! As a club, we have to stay in contact. I set up a group Discord server for us all. Let's all join. I quickly turn to grab my phone, while Caprice tries to talk a very reluctant Wallace into going along with their plan. His dreary look makes me feel a little sorry for him, especially as he cracks and gives up. At least she and I are already sorted. It wasn't long after we met that Caprice asked to exchange contact details with me. I take my phone in hand and look to Eileen instead, who looks up from eating with little interest. Don't want to? She just shrugs. I feel myself deflate a little from the excitement of earlier, having overestimated how close we'd managed to become. I don't really use it much. In the room, as she glances about, she reluctantly pulls out an ancient-looking flip phone. I can't help but stare in stunned silence at such a relic. Huh? It's not that weird, is it? I just never had a use for a fancy one. It's definitely weird. I was gonna try to get everyone on this group messaging app, too. What's wrong with calling? You know that thing phones were made for? Thoughts I had of possibly messaging Eileen start to vanish. I can't imagine her actually wanting to text anyone with that thing, and even the idea of calling somebody fills me with anxiety. No. Okay, Allison, you're being so dumb here. This is where you take the opportunity, you take her on a date to go buy a fancy smartphone. You go get her the newest iPhone, alright? I know you don't got the money. She probably does, but you're gonna take her on the date to it, because you gotta get the date points. That's how this is gonna work. You gotta teach her all about the phones and the modern technology. You gotta get Unk out of the flip phone status here. It's tragic, actually. What year did this game? This game came out in like what? When does this game come out? Why? How does she still have a flip phone? What is happening here? I don't even know you can still buy those anymore. You think she wants to buy a phone? She says, why can't we just, what's wrong with calling? What phones are used for? Like, you know, like she doesn't use her phone right now because her phone is literally a flip phone. That's why she doesn't use her phone right now. If she gets an actual fancy phone, she would probably use it. Because it has more uses than just calling. Way more uses than just calling. This game came out in 2020. Damn. Where's your goddamn phone? What's happening here? As for Eileen, I think I might have inadvertently disappointed her by not tempering Caprice's reaction. With a quiet falling over the table, we end up concentrating on our cooling pizza rather than our phones. So, I was right, wasn't I? Best pizza place. You know what? that whole interaction just reminded me of that Chaos Head scene where they go to buy Takumi a cell phone. And what does his sister say? His Nanami just says, "I hope you die from electromagnetic waves" or something. Did ask if I didn't get my phone in late high school and it wasn't a hand-me-down, I would probably also have I would also probably have a flip phone to this day. You really would not, probably. At a certain point, most things require an actual smartphone. The smartphone stuff, I think I was thinking about this the other day too. You can't really get away with not having a smartphone for most people these days that are like working actively or like going to school and stuff, such as literally like most websites require a text being sent to your phone and or an app installed on your phone for it to work. I know there's several like medical fucking things related to your medical stuff that has to be done. They're scanned with your phone shit. Like you wouldn't last long today at our age, Shadow, with a flip phone. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you're acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know why you're just out here pretending like you've only ever used your cell phone, Shadow, for calling and messaging on like Discord. I don't know why you're pretending like you've never had to use your phone for literally any other thing, such as like authentication apps or anything else. I don't know why you're pretending. I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why we're playing this game here, Shadow. Why are we doing this? Still, I had a BlackBerry knockoff. My papa had one for a while, BlackBerry, because his work gave it to him, and then they eventually upgraded him to a iPhone, which he hates. Still worked after I dropped in the pool once. The BlackBerries were pretty sturdy. They were pretty tough. So I was right? Best pizza place? At least Caprice's endless enthusiasm and bright nature come in useful sometimes. The mood instantly lifting. You were right. Walls gives a thumbs up as he tries to grab some cheese coming off the slice he's working on. They don't skimp on the toppings, do they? All right, listen up, everybody. My first executive decision as club president, coming here is now a regular event.
No.
Don't try your luck. You got my art room and a warm body for the numbers you needed. That's it.
Eileen.
It's so cold. I'll come here with you, don't worry. See? Allison's a true friend. She slips her arm around me and pulls us together tightly. Not knowing how I should react, I end up nervously smiling while feeling myself flushing from contact. I guess I'm just happy to hear her call me a friend. My dad also hates his iPhones, one work, one personal, both still have a home button. Yeah, I've had to like guide like my grandparents through how smartphones work and like other like relatives that we have that are elderly through that, because oftentimes those like older phones that they have, their whatever plan that they have for them, it gets shut down and they have to upgrade to a new smartphone or whatever. Like I don't think it is very common these days to even buy a flip phone, nor is it really worth it. You can get a smartphone for like $30 these days. Like you have to go out of your way, I think, to buy a flip phone as opposed to a smartphone these days. It's just a question of how expensive you want your smartphone to be, I think. There's really no reason not to, I don't think. But, you know, it's the whole thing. That's the way technology advances, I guess. At least you've got Caprice with you as company during the day, for better or worse. Only if you're doing nefarious things. Well, even if you are doing nefarious things, like track phones you can get for like $30 as well, that are smartphones these days. You don't need them to be flip phones for them to be like disposable. You can get them pretty cheap, and you can get them with like those plans if you're going that route, I think. I mean, I don't know if technically flip phones are technically more secure if you're trying to keep things really private as opposed to like smartphone stuff. I guess if you're putting literally any sign-in information on the smartphone, it would be, and most of them do require that. But I feel like you could also just have a phone without any account information on it. Maybe. I don't know, actually. I'm trying to think to myself, if I were to walk into a store right now and buy a track phone or some other cheap prepaid phone, and I tried to activate it, whether or not it would ever at any point ask me and require me to make some sort of website account in order before I can actually use the phone number. And I don't know if the answer is yes. It's been a while, and usually we just have accounts for them because it's easy to just sign up an account for them. I don't know if the answer is yes for those. Maybe it is. Come on, Eileen, you're not jealous, are you? You and I can hang out at the club all the time now too. Are you trying to make me reconsider it? Caprice satisfies herself with pouting as she takes a big bite from her pizza. Eileen might have agreed to the club, but I do wonder if the two will ever really get along. It's probably for the best that I'll be around to mediate. I'm glad things turn out this way in the end. Something about Eileen feels different from my high school friends, or Caprice. Every time we become a little closer, it feels like a small victory. A drug empire collapses because you log in to play Farmville on your burner. You know what? It's possible. It probably has happened and probably will happen. I don't know. I think it's possible. Very possible. Okay. As Caprice grins at me, I realize that I'm smiling widely. I guess things really did turn out well.
Hey, Eileen?
Yes?
How do you say cheers in Germany?
Usually Prost.
Prost!
Why?
She looks suspicious until Caprice raises her glass of lemonade. The other side of the table groans loudly, but I've already begun to lift my glass in preparation, now left awkwardly dangling it midair.
We're not doing this.
Come on, this is a celebration,
Come on, man!
Wallace, help me out here.
Wallace pauses, a piece of pizza hovering before his mouth. His dreary stare down makes it clear that he's here for pizza alone, and not having a bar of this. Disappointed, Eileen lets it drop, the natural party going back to its meal. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Disappointed, Eileen lets it drop, the neutral party going back to his meal.
You're still here celebrating, though. See? Allison's all in for it.
Well, that's one way to drag me into this. All I could do now... I had to pause there for a second because she says...
Though. See? Allison's all in for it.
She says Allison's all in for this, but here it says, see, Allison's in for this. There's a word added in the voice that wasn't there. I had to mentally pause. My brain said, wait a minute, that word wasn't there. You added that in. Well, that's one way to drag me into all this. I also added a word there. That was intentional. Definitely wasn't my brain being weird. All I could do is awkwardly smile in apology as the others grimace. While they might hesitate to follow our diminutive new leader, Wallace and Eileen begrudgingly lift their glasses in solidarity with me. Even if her enthusiasm might not be matched, there is some sense of camaraderie between us all. As I raise my glass, I realize that a familiar feeling is no longer weighing me down. For the first time in a long while, I don't feel the unease of loneliness. In the end, maybe that's enough for me to toast this new club, and the friends in it.
To our new art club. Prost!
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 Yeah! Achievement unlocked. Begin Act 2. Act 2, Falling Snow. We found a bird. I think that's a bird. Pretty sure that's a bird. I'm not sure what kind of bird, but that looks like a bird. All right, everyone out. Caprice and I step out onto the busy sidewalk, per Eileen's orders, the chatty girl leaning through the passenger door as Eileen tries to get the car going again. Giving a long stretch to help my stiff back, I do my best to keep out of the way. After news of Eileen owning a car leaked out, Caprice's mind immediately set about organizing the art club's first outing, before the club even started, really. Inspiration for our art, she called it, but it was obviously an excuse to hang out. When do we do art in the art club? Do we do this ever? Eileen's the only one who I've seen do it. With things having gone this awry, I feel a little bad for going along with the idea despite Eileen's reluctance. Their investigations apparently coming to nothing, Caprice rights herself as the car falls silent. Eileen closes the door behind her with some force before plodding around to us, frustration written all over her face. Looks like the engine won't idle at all. Serves me right for buying secondhand. Know why it's not working?
No.
No idea. She looks a little sheepish for not having the answer on hand, but I can't say I blame her. As the two of us mull over our options, we become distracted by Caprice and her wide grin. She has a plan cooked up already, for better or worse.
Caprice.
Okay, so I am pronouncing it right. That's good to know. I don't think a voice actress has actually said her name until now, so her name is Caprice. I'm not wrong. That's good to know. What are you smiling about now? I've got this. Just stay right here. I gotta make a call.
Catch you later.
To AAA? Eileen and I grimace at each other in unison, but Caprice bounces off down the street before either of us can object, getting the phone from her pocket as she walks. She flits between the people around her while unbothered by the ice on the sidewalk. It's just an excuse to hang out, like many clubs end up being. Listen, she was there was an art club that already exists, okay? But we're just like, we have to make a new one. We gotta do this. Oh, you got a car? Oh, we're going out. Oh, we gotta go for pizza. We gotta go here. We gotta go there. What's that? You want to do art in the art room? You want to do art in art club too? Eileen can do that. We're too busy. That's not our job. Wallace doesn't even want to be a part of it, I don't think yet still. The background hum of people chatting and cars passing by takes over once again as we find ourselves at loose ends. Not like we could go anywhere else anyway. You're not going to try and stop her? Think she'd listen to me if I tried? That's a fair point. Both of them are rather stubborn, I suppose. It's inevitable they'd clash sometimes. On the bright side, of all the places to break down, here isn't so bad. The weather's not too chilly, and it's nice to observe people sometimes, especially when they're bundled up in cute winter outfits. Some city workers in the distance are already beginning to set up the downtown Christmas tree, providing some entertainment for the people walking by as they struggle with the unwieldy thing. Things will change as last-minute Christmas shoppers and sale hunters start rushing around, but right now, it's a pleasant atmosphere. Turning back to Eileen, she doesn't seem as content to patiently pass the time people watching as I swear to God I can read. I swear to you I can read. I swear to you on my life I can read. Turning back to Eileen, she doesn't seem as content to patiently pass the time people watching as I am. I'm going to go grab a coffee. Want one? I'm fine. Probably having a bit too much of it lately. There's no such thing as too much. As I shake my head at her offer, Eileen simply shrugs and begins strolling down the road in the opposite direction to Caprice. Rather than dance around the crowd, people make way for Eileen as she moves her gaze, fixed and notably taller than most. With little to do now but watch the car, I huff into my gloved hands a couple of times to try and warm them. At least the aquarium should be warmer, if we ever manage to finish the tree there. Or the trip, not tree. Why did I say tree? The trip there. Just as I'm about to settle in and watch the passing crowds, the phone in my pocket begins to vibrate and ring. Not sure who it could be, I quickly grab for it. Dad? Without a second thought, I swipe my finger on the screen and pick up the call.
Hi.
Dad, hi. Hey, sweetie. It's good to hear your voice again. How are things? Sound of the crowds fade away as I listen to him, a comfortable warmth coming over me as I feel insulated from their gazes and focus on the conversation. Things are good, I guess. Well, I haven't caught you at a bad time, have I? I can call back later. No, just out with friends. He gives his usual weird laugh, sounding more like an air moving through closed teeth than a normal full-bellied chuckle. It never fails to make me smile, all the same, though. What's that about? Just a relief to hear that. We've been all worried about you finding your new friends after such a big change, what with changing schools and moving out and whatnot. This is the voice I've decided to give the dad, by the way. I don't care otherwise, alright? This is the voice he's going with. Thank you to the people I met in school. I guess I really have. Caprice pulled me into her orbit. Wallace seems nice and caring for all his intimidating size. And then there's Eileen. They might be a bit odd, but they're all caring in their own ways. It's funny how art seems to have drawn all of us together, each in a different way. Before I respond, I vaguely hear my mother's voice in the background. Your mother said to ask if things are going okay at home. Everything's good. Rose has been a big help with everything. That's vastly understating things. If it weren't for her, I don't know how I would have coped. Not just for the constant housework and errands, but also for being away from everyone and everything I knew before. I might still have my ups and downs, but the last thing I want to do is stress them out over me. That's good to hear. Hopefully it'll take a bit of stress off a certain someone. Tell Rose hello for us if you remember.
Sure thing.
Can do. How's everyone doing there? Your brother's a pain in the ass, like always, for one. Right on cue, one of them loudly complains in the background. As you can tell. How's Lucy? Same as always, she's sleeping in the other room. I hear my mother's voice again in the background. Alright, she knocked a mug off the counter the other day. Your mother gave her a good scolding. I think she's acting now without you around. Is this like a cat? Is this like a cat that they have? I can't help but laugh imagining it. My mom exasperated with my cat. Yep, it's a cat. It's a cat. Anyway, we're getting by. It ain't the same without you, though. In a whispered voice, he continues. It's hard to get a moment's peace around here. Make sure to give your mother a call sometime, okay? I'll call her, don't worry. Atta girl, anything worrying you on your mind? No, things are good. I realize my mistake the moment I answer, having spoken just a little too quickly to make it seem natural. My mind starts to replay the embarrassing situation I've been in, the constant concerns and worries of living alone, the loneliness. Dad's calming voice cuts through, interrupting my spiraling thoughts. I'd better let you get back to your friends. I hope I'm not keeping you away. It's fine. I'm just happy to hear you again. We miss you too. Christmas around here will be a lot warmer once you're back for the holidays. We're going to miss you at Nana's this year. I really can't wait to see all of you again. I'll be looking forward to it too. Love you, Allison.
Take care.
Love you too. Bye. A few seconds pass before the familiar beeping of the ended call tone rings in my ear. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Putting away the phone, I feel like I should be happy to have spoken to my family again. That couldn't be any further from what I feel, though. The horrible lump in my throat only gets worse as I stare down glumly at the dirty snow on the sidewalk. My heart hurts. The taste of my mother's food, my old bedroom, all the friends I left behind when I went to this college, my cat, they all came flooding back. It's just homesickness. I've dealt with this before, and more than once. The fact it'll pass doesn't help right now, though. Noticing Eileen through the crowd, coffee cup in hand, as she sips away, I take a long breath and try to steady myself. I don't want to look weird in front of her, getting all sulky in the middle of the street. That was quick. Hey, the cavalry's here too. She jerks her head towards the top of the street in answer to my confusion. Caprice frantically waves to flag someone down, their little car sliding into a parking spot not far from where Eileen's ended up. It looks well cared for despite its age. All Eileen and I can do is stare at as the driver opens the door and steps out. I'm more than a little surprised when I recognize her as being another student from college. She looks to be about our age despite her ladylike appearance, her tall figure dressed in a smart trench coat and scarf. It's quite a fashionable look, and hardly who I expected to arrive. As Caprice slightly chats to her, I feel myself shrinking behind Eileen, a little out of shyness. She looks much more apathetic about the whole affair, simply taking a long sip of her coffee. Getting on Eileen's good side made me forget how unsociable she could be.
Ta-da! Found a mechanic right nearby.
Oh, alright. She can fix it? I feel a little sheepish for assuming the worst of her little mission. Caprice seems to be very friendly with the woman, but it's hard to read much into that given Caprice's personality.
Hi, I'm Millie. The two of us are roommates.
I'm gonna make a bold assumption here. Wait, oh, Millie is Caprice's roommate? Okay, never mind. I was gonna make the assumption that Millie is probably a character from Twofold. Actually, let me check. I just assume this is probably just like a, Twofold. I mean, all these characters might be present somewhere in Twofold. Yeah, Millie's like one of the main characters in it, it looks like. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Yeah, she's like on the cover art and everything. Okay. I'm trying to also understand because I believe First Snow came out first, but it's supposed to be part of the Twofold franchise. But Twofold has been in development for a while, so I don't think it was like Twofold came out and then First Snow came out. I think it was Twofold has been in development for a long while, and First Snow came out a couple of years beforehand. I think, unless it was like an Itch.io release prior. I can always clarify this information later, but I think that that's what happened. I think this came out first while Twofold was still in development, so it's a part of the Twofold franchise and uses some of the characters like Millie, I think. But, I think? And it looks like Millie was there. I don't know. Alright, anyways, I'm not gonna focus on it too much. This is a standalone prequel thing. We're going with it.
Mechanic might be stretching things a bit far, but I should be able to help.
And now, Millie, it's time for you to meet my art club. Introducing Eileen and Allison.
Wait, is Wallace not here? Where's Wallace? All I can do is give a weak smile as Eileen snorts in weary disapproval. Like it or not, looks like we're part of this misadventure for good.
I could have sworn there was already an art club.
Yeah, well, ours is better and cooler and awesome. Unlike them.
That one is garbage.
True.
Mine is the cool art club.
True.
So that's what you've been so happy about lately.
We don't even do
Shame on
art in our
me for
club,
thinking
okay?
you were ever jealous of my position in the writing club.
Is that what all this is about? Caprice wanted to be on level with her friend. I guess it all worked out for us anyway.
So you're in charge of the writing club?
The current leader's graduating at the end of this semester, so he's handing the reins to me. Seems I made a good impression on him?
And the rest of the club doesn't get a say?
That's how it works. I like to call it a stable line of succession.
Yeah?
Speaking of which, I need to get back to the writing I was doing before I got that phone call. Your car had issues?
Yeah. Engine died without any warning. Managed to coast it to the side of the road. Eileen doesn't seem exactly taken with the situation. Millie's explanation of her being a writer not explaining her ability to fix a car. We don't have much option but to put our faith in her at this point. I'm guessing Caprice gave you the briefing? Need me to start the thing? Need me around to start the thing? Oh, let me! Eileen narrows her eyes, but eventually sighs and chucks her keys at the girl. Caprice's momentary hesitation shows she expected that to work no more than I did.
Okay, fine.
Just don't go for a drive or something? I assure you, you haven't seen me actually angry yet. The seriousness of her tone seems to penetrate a little. Of course, Caprice being Caprice, it doesn't take long for her to bounce back. Now then, let's fix this thing.
Let's see what I can do.
Right, let's have a look. She gives us a confident smile before popping the hood, Caprice taking on the job of her assistant. To Millie's credit, she looks like a natural as she quickly moves this and that around about to peer inside. If you don't need us, we'll just go for a short walk, alright?
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, date time. Let's go. The meaning of we becomes clear as Eileen puts a hand around my shoulder to direct me. The two of us walking off beside each other and leaving the two to their work. Ooh. It feels a little weird to have Eileen's arm around my back and holding my shoulder as we walk side by side. Even if it is to guide me, she takes a long while to let go. We're so in, gamers. We're so in. You sure you're all right leaving them alone? Not at all. Not like I could do anything to actually help, though. All I could do is awkwardly laugh it off. I don't have the first clue on even day-to-day maintenance for a car after all, so maybe just staying out of the supposed mechanic's way might be for the best. At least it broke the ice a bit, as I still feel a little unsure when I'm alone with her. I can never seem to get a read on Eileen. Every time we talk, I end up getting caught in her pace. Even now, I'm not sure why she pulled me away to walk with her. No, it's not quite true. She must have noticed me being depressed earlier, even if she isn't saying anything about it. Given how she always invited me over for dinner when I was angry, it seems she really does care for me despite her stoic exterior. Did I say angry? It meant hungry. It says hungry. Given how she also invited me over for dinner when I was hungry. It seems she really does care for me despite her stoic exterior. As she drops her emptied coffee cup into a bin as we pass, I realize it's going to be up to me to raise the subject. So you saw me earlier, huh? You did look a bit bummed when you got off the phone. Didn't want to bring it up if you didn't, though. You left me no choice.
Sorry.
I missed talking to my family after so long. Sorry for being so flustered. Nothing to be sorry for. It's only natural.
Huh?
So you're homesick, huh? Sometimes. Moving out for the first time's a big deal. You don't need to beat yourself up over feeling stressed.
Thank you.
Thanks. I thought I was doing okay, but when I heard my dad's voice again, it reminded you of what you're away from? I give a simple nod. She doesn't seem to be speaking in an overly soft or caring tone, but she is listening carefully. I appreciate it, really. She doesn't come off as patronizing. I can't imagine living alone. I have no idea how you do it. She gives an absent-minded shrug. I'm not really fussed about that sort of thing. Besides, Wallace drops by sometimes, and you're welcome as well. It's good that you have a roommate you get along with, though. That'd help. I get the feeling Eileen's circling around what she's actually wants to say, as she looks to me. I think she realizes that the game is up, the two of us stopping as she turns in front of me.
Allison.
We're all freshmen here. You, me, Caprice. We're all away from our families trying to find our niche. If you want to talk or vent, we're around. Wallace told me you talked, so you have that big oaf as well. That's it, I guess. I might have thought I didn't want to worry her, but her reassurances are more comforting than I guessed they'd be. Even as I manage to gather myself, I can't help but smile. I know it's a little selfish, but it's sort of nice to have someone worried over me. To my surprise, she brings her hand to my head and starts ruffling my hair. It's hard to read her expression as she does so, but I don't feel put off at all. Quite the opposite. She pauses for a moment, face stuck. Sorry if you don't. It's fine. I only just managed to splutter the word out. Splutter? Splutter the word out. My dumb smile better at getting the message across. I'm sure splutter is a real word. I don't think I've ever seen it before. I'm sure I understand the meaning of it. Like, I just spit the word out or whatever. What is splutter? Word of the day. Chrome audio, there you go. Word of the day.
Splutter. Splutter.
Make a series of short, explosive, spitting or choking sounds.
Splutter.
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 A short, explosive, spitting or choking noise. Splutter.
Splutter.
There you go. There's your word of the day. Congratulations. Congratulations to you all for having learned a word. There you go. Taking the cue, she begins petting my head once more. I've forgotten how much I miss simple physical interaction, as awkward as she might be about it. A hug might be a bit more normal, but somehow it's hard to imagine Eileen doing that. It's not a secret, I'm not great at this kind of thing. Just keep what I said in mind, alright? I will. Everyone's here to help me. I'll remember that. Removing her hand, Eileen and I start heading back towards the car side by side. It's easy for someone who's outgoing to comfort another, but it somehow feels more sincere from a loner like Eileen. She's making an extra effort for my sake. Somehow I feel a little warmer than I did before as we walk back. Maybe the weather's improved, but I doubt that's it. I guess you've had experience living alone, haven't you?
Huh?
Me? Just moved out of college, same as you. So we're in just the same situation, yet Eileen has everything so together that she can offer me help like this? Moreover, she's known so this entire time. I just sigh in defeat.
Huh? Huh?
College has really driven home how everyone's different. Sure has. The reason for the dreariness in her voice becomes apparent as I follow her gaze. Caprice happily bouncing out of the car and shutting the door as we stroll up. Everyone sure is different.
Hey!
Hey guys! The impromptu mechanic appears finished as well, righting herself and closing the hood after poking around inside. She absentmindedly wipes the sweat off her forehead, leaving some grease on her face before realizing her error. Whoops. Well, it's fixed for now. Looks like the fuse went. Nothing major. I've done what I can out here, but it needs a proper fix back at a shop. Things'll get you going, though. Or this'll get you going, though. Eileen's impressed look is shared by me. Being so handy is a good trait to have, and she did come all the way here just to help us. I'm impressed. Fixed cars before? I was about to recommend taking it to my dad's auto shop, actually.
Sure.
Your dad's shop is as good as any other. I'll sort something out this afternoon. This is where I'd shake your hand in thanks, but, you know. Millie gives a self-deprecating smile in response. Caprice passes her a handkerchief from her pocket, which Millie quickly uses to wipe her hands as best as she can. Hey, since you're already here, I'll let you all get on with your art club adventure. I have other things I need to do. Sorry.
Have fun.
Have fun. With that, we give our farewells to Millie as she heads back towards her car. Her momentary churlish grin towards the deflated Caprice doesn't go unnoticed. Achievement unlocked. Meet the leader of the campus writing club. A rivalry in the making. Oh. Okay, I guess that's a rivalry in twofold. I guess. I don't know. What was that achievement name hinting at? Eileen snatches her keys back from the girl's hand, wasting no time in addressing the both of us. Now, are we finally going to the aquarium?
Yeah!
Yeah! She beams brightly, her smile proving infectious. Turning to me, Eileen's emerald eyes stare into my own, checking my reaction after the day's events. As rough as she might be, Eileen really does care about others.
Eileen.
Let's go, Eileen. With this, she gives one of those few smiles she dares give. It feels like a reward to see them, and I find myself wanting to see them more and more. I briefly wonder who's in the art room. I'm trying to think to myself, I think we might want to wrap this up for tonight, maybe? Let's see how long it says we've made it here. I don't think we made it that far into Act 2. Yeah, no, we have not made it that far into Act 2. Well, to be fair, these bits were kind of long. Maybe if we get, like... So we read all of this. Maybe if I get to, like, the halfway point of here, we'll wrap it up. So we go through, like, this scene, another scene. Or at least start with this scene. So we'll read, like, through 2 more scenes, I think. And then we'll wrap it up for tonight, I think. Because I don't think we're going to finish this tonight without it going to, like, fucking 3 a.m. I don't want to do that to us, okay? That's on me for starting the game later at night and then also having to waste an hour yapping and then fixing things with the game. So we'll just read like 2 more scenes and then we'll move on. I briefly wonder who's who in the art. I did it again. I briefly wonder who's in the art room as I proceed along the 2nd floor hallway. Well, less wonder and more hope. Caprice will be there, I have little doubt of that, but I'm starting to enjoy being around Eileen. Her paintings are so nice to see, and anytime I manage to make her warm to me, somehow, feels somehow rewarding. Someone like Caprice smiles all the time, and the moment we sat beside each other in biology lecture, my fate was sealed as she began chatting to me without prompting. While I don't mind that at all, finding her bubbly attitude uplifting, if a little overbearing, there's little about her that she keeps to herself. When Eileen gives praise, or even just smiles, it feels genuinely earned. I think that's the difference. Upon reaching the door opening it, the otherwise empty room is filled with the greetings of a certain loud girl. Sitting at a table with a sketchbook in front of her, she takes a brief break from her work.
Hi!
Good afternoon, Allison.
Hey.
Hi, you look cheerful as usual. I'm super ready for today's art club meeting. She pumps her fist as I walk in, earning a sincere, if weary smile. We didn't go on the aquarium date? I thought that's what we were about to see next. Did I miss something where they say we were going to go another day or something? We ain't get to go on the aquarium date? I guess it makes sense for us to have an art club meeting before we actually go on an aquarium date. Or at least see one, I guess. Because we didn't actually have an art club session yet until now, so. I feel a little bad for my first reaction upon entering being disappointment, giving her earnest sense of friendship with me. Shrugging it off, I pile my books onto another table and take a couple of pencils from the side of the table which Caprice has commandeered. Oh, that's pretty good. A glance at the sketchbook Caprice has been sketching in makes me stop in my tracks. I have to look up at her and back down again just to confirm that this was done by the same person. Her casual doodles were cute, but she has a real talent for this stuff now that I see her more serious work. I never really questioned how much Caprice has practiced her art, now that I think of it. I'm left a little chastened for underestimating how much effort she puts into this hobby. Motivated to try a little myself, motivated to try a bit harder myself, I take a seat and open one of my sketchbooks. Flipping to a mostly empty page, I ponder for a moment before setting about sketching a cat. They were always my favorite subject to doodle. Look at the cat. That cat looks evil. What's going on with this? The eyes of the cat? Is the cat is the cat evil, or is it high, or what are these red eyes going on with the cat? Look at a little bird. Look at a little Twitter. I like the doodle in the top left corner here. Top left, Mina Slimes? I lose track of time as I start getting into it, trying to replicate Caprice's shading from memory. It's only when Caprice pipes up with another greeting that I take a break. Eileen strides through the doorway as I look up, giving a quick perfunctory wave to the both of us. She looks barely awake, but given how tired she always looks, it's hard to say if it's any worse than usual. She's cheery for the spooky kitty, true. As we exchange greetings and Caprice gets back to her sketching, Eileen's eyes fall on my notebook. Without breaking stride, she turns on the ball of her high boots to take a detour from her easel and peer at my work. Eileen's figure looms above as she stands in front of me, fingers pressed to the top of my sketchbook as she looks down. It conjures up feelings I haven't felt since middle school, as of a student shrinking before her teacher. Haven't done this in a while, have you?
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing? If you haven't, you haven't. You have the fundamentals right, at least, which only comes with practice. Her fingertip skates back and forth on the paper, pointing out this and that. Musculature looks off, but that's a pain at the best of times for animals. Try to draw from references, instead of relying on what your mind thinks something looks like. A weight feels as if it's been lifted from my shoulders. It's not exactly high praise, but the fact that she's willing to give me pointers feels like validation. You like cats? I have one back home. Explains it. More of a dog person myself, really. Ever had one? Would have been nice, but my parents weren't interested in the idea. Sounds like you and your parents don't get along very well.
No.
We don't. Oh, alright. My bad. The pet thing's nothing to do with it. They wanted me to go into one of their approved careers, and I didn't. Oh, I thought it would be something more complicated. Sometimes things really are as simple as they seem. I do art, John, is what I do. I'm sure things will work out eventually. That's nice. I open my mouth to respond, but the tone behind her words makes it clear that she considers the discussion over. The air goes cold between us, leaving me at a loss for words as my shoulder slumps in defeat. All I meant to do was cheer her up. As she steps over to another table and pulls off her coat, Caprice gleefully fills the awful silence with her bubbly voice.
Allie!
Hey, have you tried doing other stuff as well?
Huh?
What do you mean? You know, other kinds of art. There's oils, watercolor, pottery, fletching. I both paint and do sketch stuff, so it's not like you need to keep to one thing or another. I can get some pottery stuff if you want. Eileen barely restrains herself from rolling her eyes. By harassing the poor professor into giving you some kiln time and clay.
No!
It's not harassment, it's negotiating. I think I'll be fine for now. Eileen gives one final piece of advice as she turns towards the cupboard, taking advantage of the lull from Caprice focusing on her own work. Don't worry about her, just keep at it. Practice might not make perfect, but it'll get you close. I'm sure Eileen means well with her efforts at teaching, but it's a vast change to the way I used to draw as a kid and in high school, being a little more than the occasional scribble when an idea struck. Barely having time to put pencil to paper, a clatter at the front of the room draws the attention of both Caprice and I. As Eileen fiddles, both of us get up to see what's happening. What's up? Standing at the old wooden cabinet at the front of the room, Eileen gives a couple more sharp tugs at the door with all her usual gentleness before turning to Caprice. The door to the cabinet's locked. Nah, they never lock it after class. She bounces over to Eileen and takes the handle in her grip, giving it several pulls at various creative angles in case it's jammed. After one last try, hard enough to have her feet slipping on the floor. Could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said. As they face off, I take a look at the cabinet between them. It's a type of lock I've tried before, and not particularly high-end. And again, I've never done this with two people peering over my shoulder. Oh my god, we hack the vending machine? We're doing lock picking? This is a thing that we do often? What is this? Allison? As they both look to me, I realize there isn't any backing down now. Glancing out the door to make sure there isn't anyone listening, I continue on. I could maybe try picking it. You could do that?
Seriously?
Someone sure has a knack for skills that upstanding people shouldn't have. All I can do in response is wilt. Eileen's not exactly wrong, even if I do like to think I only use such things when I should. We don't really have much of an option. Think you can do it? Except, I'm sorry, can we not, like, just go ask somebody for the fucking key to this thing? What do you mean this is our only option? We don't have... We can't just go somewhere and ask someone for a fucking key? What do you mean? Accepting my fate, I get up and hold my hand towards them. I'll need a couple of paper clips. New skill unlocked or old skill unlocked? Too much of a hassle to go talk to... Okay. Taking to my feet once more, Eileen and Caprice look more dubious than impressed. Well, did you get it? Little more confident than Caprice, her face having been plastered right beside the lock out of curiosity as I worked, I take a long breath and reach out to the handle, giving it a timid tug. The relief in the room is palpable as the old door creaks open, revealing shelf upon shelf of supplies. Awesome! Caprice gives a tug, a tight hug. That's, when you combine it, it's tug, basically. It gives a tight hug from behind in appreciation and excitement, leaving me to awkwardly laugh off the praise as Eileen starts taking her paints and brushes. As she rights herself and Caprice detaches herself from me, Eileen gives a couple claps on the shoulder with her free hand. You did good. Where, or maybe I should, why did you pick up skills like that? I just like learning things. No big deal, teehee. Taking an interest in the conversation, Caprice leans back towards... I won't lie to you, I do have several friends who learn lockpicking just for fun. Apparently lockpicking is just a thing that people just think is interesting and cool. And you don't necessarily learn it just to commit crimes or whatever. I've never looked into it myself, but I do have a couple friends who have looked into it and thought that it was pretty cool to learn. Taking an interest in the conversation, Caprice leans back towards us. What kind of things? Other cool stuff like that? Just things. Schoolwork wasn't too hard, so instead of studying, I ended up teaching myself stuff like how to pick locks and tinker with different machines to keep myself occupied. Huh? Are you aware of how sketchy that sounds?
Oh!
It's not just about doing bad things. It's not about doing bad things. They're just puzzles. The point is working them out, not getting free stuff. When I put it that way, I guess it is pretty useless to learn. That's pretty funny to say. Be saying right now. Caprice nudges Eileen, who just raises an eyebrow. She makes a decent point. Hoping that no staff were around to notice what just happened. If the staff were around, they should have had the fucking key for it, okay? I throw the twisted paper clips into the bin before heading to my table as Caprice takes to hers, and Eileen sits herself at her easel. Without further ado, we each set to work. It's a nice atmosphere with the three of us working away at our own little projects. I'm not sure sketching cats in a notebook really counts as much as of a project, but having friends around makes it somehow more meaningful. With winter setting in, I find myself settled in for the evening on the couch watching a movie on the television, a blanket draped over me to try and keep warm. Rose still isn't back from work, and with the garbage taken out and washing up done, it probably won't hurt to take things easy for the rest of this evening. A loud ping comes from beside me, my hand automatically reaching for the phone sitting on the couch in response. Probably Rose saying she'll be late, dooming me to microwave noodles for dinner again. Or perhaps not. I don't recognize the number or user avatar at all. Is this Allison ? What is going on here? Is this like a face, like moving around very quickly? What the fuck is happening? I briefly consider saying no, but that would be mean. I can barely make out their picture beyond what I think to be yellow hair, because is this Millie? I don't even know any blondes besides Eileen and Millie, and the latter is unlikely to be messaging me. So, is it Eileen? Eileen? Wallace helped me set this thing up. She doesn't know how to take selfies. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. What's with your profile picture? It took a photo when I was setting up. Find any nice apps yet? I haven't tried looking. I don't really get it. I can't help but giggle a little. I'm happy she's making the effort when she made it clear she wasn't interested before. I'll help you with it tomorrow. That would be good, thanks. Sorry if I type slowly. This keyboard is weird. Practice makes perfect. About that. Wanted to say sorry about the parents thing. I was too touchy. It's okay. It wasn't really my business. Life doesn't always have a happy ending. Things don't work out and that's that. You still have to try though. People are good. You just need to have faith. At least that's what I think. I don't get you at all. I think that goes both ways.
Uh-huh.
I see. Taken completely unawares, I leap off the couch and spin around, barely keeping a hold of the phone in my hand.
Oh!
When did you get in? Just now. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I let out a long breath to steady myself as my heart slowly returns to its normal pace. Rose just grins churlishly. This is the second time this word has come up. What the fuck is churlish? Churlish. Oh, hold on, wait. Here you go. Another word of the day. Churlish.
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 Rude in a mean-spirited and surly way. Churlish.
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 There you go. That's your second word of the day. Are you happy with your progress? Okay. Now. Boom, boom. Alright, give me a second here. Okay, alright, let's go. I let out a long breath to say myself as my heart slowly returns to its normal pace. Rose just grins churlishly as she walks off to hang up her coat. Roommate's back. Catch you tomorrow. See you. With that, I tap the side button to lock the phone once more, putting it on the corner beside me. You look happy. All I can do is grimace, my face becoming flushed from embarrassment at her bullying. Thanks to my cheeks mildly hurting, I can tell she isn't wrong. I mean it. It does make me good I mean it. Does me good to see you managing to get yourself a social circle and all. You were worried? Can you blame me? No guys around, no friends, always being so nervous. You changed a lot. I guess Eileen was right. Everyone really is there for me. Rose isn't wrong either. I do have friends now, and the art club's starting to become a welcome little slice of familiarity in the campus. Caprice, Wallace, Eileen, everyone's really nice to me. Yet it's Eileen I can't stop thinking about. Man, that cold exterior of hers, there's a genuinely kind person. What's with that face? Nothing? Gonna come eat or play with your phone all day? Alright, I think we'll probably just end it with that. After this loads up, I guess. Oh, okay. I think we're gonna save it there. We'll wrap it up with that, actually. There we go. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. We're gonna wrap that up with here for tonight. Which means I probably do want to finish this before we have our potential people that are gonna be staying over or whatever here for the week. So I think we're probably going to tomorrow finish reading this, and then we'll play the Grinch, you know, throughout the week or whatever. I think that's the goal. I think that's what we'll do. Now, for when we'll stream it, it's a little, I'm not entirely sure. I am, like I said, I am going out tomorrow at around 4 o'clock my time for like dinner with some friends. And I don't know if we're going to be doing other stuff afterwards. But so if I do stream afterwards, it's going to be pretty late. But if I do wake up early enough, I might just do an early stream of this. And we'll stream some more of that. And if you can't make it for that, don't worry. I'm going to upload all these as VODs anyways. So those will be there. If you aren't able to catch it live and you're interested to hear what happens next in the story, you can always listen to it there. So Crush was all but confirmed, which is good. See? There you go. Finally, another Ultra Boomer. Alright, gamers. That's what we got here for tonight. We'll continue this and the Grinch and the Christmas story, Christmas carols at some points. I want to finish all of these within these months. I want to finish all of this within this month, okay? I don't want us to have a big backlog of seasonal games like we still do for Halloween of last year, technically. We will get through those eventually. Slowly but surely. I think the main one we have left is Alien Isolation from that. I think that's the only one we have left, really. So we'll do that. Anyways, I'll have to go back to the beginning to see the full story. Well, don't worry. I'll try to remember to upload the VOD tonight as I'm sleeping, and then I'll hit publish on that when I wake up, and I'll be there. So, thank you so much, everybody, for coming to hang out. I appreciate you all. Let's see who is around to raid. Let's send this to the main menu first. You can see this here. Who is online to raid at like 1:30 a.m.-ish? Well, I don't know. Maybe let's go say hi to Koragi, who is playing Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, which is still a game I've never actually played. Oh, never mind. We're not able to raid. Apparently, I tried to. It says not able to, which is weird. Maybe I've raided into it before. Let's raid to somebody. Let's see if raiding is. I wonder if raiding is just not working in general for us right now. Let's just see what happens if I try to raid a different channel then. We'll raid Dot. Oh, it says day 6 of 1 week to beat 100 games. Apparently right now they're playing Nemesis for the Game Boy. They're going through 100 games. Wait, how many games are we at? 92 games beaten out of 100. Oh my god. We're on day 6. We're almost there. I don't know what Nemesis for the Game Boy is, but good luck to them on their journey. Let's go check out how that progress is going. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate you all. Stay safe. We'll hopefully be back again at some point tomorrow for more of this, so that we can finish this up. All right. I will talk to you all later. Merry Christmas, gamers, as usual. Stay safe. The plans for this week, I have no idea. We don't have book club Thursday, but I don't know what the exact dates and times are for things yet. I pretty much have to wait until after we have our guest come in for, like, basically trying to figure out when will probably be most appropriate for me to stream, if at all. We'll see how it goes. So bear with me if there's not a schedule or if there's a late schedule. So good night, birthday boy. Thank you, Dargiel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, goodbye, gamers. Bye-bye.